A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Palmolive Soap, your beauty hope, and Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair bring you Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden. To most people, a warm May day suggests a drive in the country or a leisurely picnic. But to our Miss Brooks, who teaches English at Madison High School, it has a far different significance.
Yes, indeed. To me, a warm May day means just one thing. Mr. Conklin, our beloved principal, is putting the heat on. Some people feel that Mr. Conklin makes his teachers miserable because of his thoughtlessness. I don't agree. You can't make so many so miserable so often without giving it plenty of thought. Well, but perhaps I'm being too harsh in my judgment. A principal's life can't be all a bed of roses either. There must be many nights which he spends tossing and turning in his bed until the wee small hours, hoping, planning, thinking, saying to himself, "What can I do to them this week?" Well, during the free period last Friday morning, his nocturnal efforts seemed to have borne fruit. He started an impromptu quiz without prizes.
Miss Brooks.
Uh-huh. Oh, yes, Mr. Conklin?
Conjugate the verb strive, please.
Strive, strive, strove, striven.
Now, thrive.
Thrive, throve, thriven. Oh, no. Really, Mr. Conklin, these sudden little tests are quite disconcerting. I don't see...
Silence, Miss Brooks. We're not finished.
Yes, sir. More verbs?
Five.
Five, fiven. Now, wait a minute, Mr. Conklin. Five isn't a verb.
Thank you, Miss Brooks. I knew my visit to your room would produce some valuable bit of information. Now, my main reason for dropping in, however, was to ask you to do me a favor, Miss Brooks. As you know, Sunday is Mother's Day.
Yes, I know, Mr. Conklin. Thanks to a special savings plan I started in February, I was able to send my mother a card this morning. But what did you want me to do for you?
I'd like you to take this package home with you and keep it until Sunday morning. It's a little Mother's Day remembrance for Mrs. Conklin, and I don't want her to stumble upon it before time. Wonderful woman, Mrs. Conklin, and she's trained our daughter Harriet to be a duplicate of herself.
Really?
Yes. Yes, between them, they're the two biggest snoopers in the county.
That makes it unanimous. I'll be happy to keep the package for you.
Thank you, Miss Brooks. I hope my daughter Harriet remembers Mother's Day. Lately, she's had her mind on nothing but that moronic manager of the baseball team, Walter Denton.
Walter isn't so bad, Mr. Conklin. Of course, he's not a brilliant student.
Brilliant? Walter Denton is Madison's gift to subnormality. The thing that annoys me most is the way he bounces. He never goes anywhere. He always bounces there.
Hiya, Miss Brooks. I just thought I'd bounce in for a minute.
Well, if it isn't the human handball.
Oh, hello, Mr. Conklin. If I'm interrupting anything, I'll just bounce along.
No, Walter. Mr. Conklin was about to dribble back to his office. That is, you were finished with me, weren't you, Mr. Conklin?
Quite. Good morning, Miss Brooks.
Goodbye, Mr. Conklin.
Hasta la vista, Mr. Conklin. I learned that in Spanish. It means see you later.
Oh. Well, no se lo veo a usted primero.
What does that mean, Miss Brooks?
That means not if I see you first. Now, what can I do for you, Walter?
Well, I need some advice, Miss Brooks. And as is my wont when I want advice, I've hied myself to my favorite English teacher. And for that matter, my favorite any kind of teacher.
Are you sure it's only advice you want?
Oh, sure, Miss Brooks. It's about a Mother's Day gift, but a very special type of mother, Miss Brooks. That is, well, I know it's impossible right now, but just for supposition's sake, suppose you woke up one day and found yourself a mother.
I have a mother. Of course, she's miles away.
No, Miss Brooks, I didn't mean it that way. I mean, if you awoke to find that you were a mother, now what would your first question be?
What did it weigh, Doc?
certain you wouldn't say, "How is my husband"?
Not me. I might say, who is my husband?
I'm serious, Miss Brooks. My dad told me that was my mother's first concern after she knew that I was all right. You know, she thinks of us constantly and never of herself. But me, what do I do in return? I don't get out of bed when she wakes me. I leave my clothes all over the house. Sunday's Mother's Day, Miss Brooks, and I've got to make it up to her.
Well, that's pretty short notice, Walter, but I have a suggestion for you.
You have?
Yes. Sunday morning, wait till your mother starts to make breakfast. When you're sure she's in the kitchen, close the door quietly behind her.
Then?
Then gather up all the clothes that you've scattered around the house.
Then?
Then put them in a big suitcase.
Then?
Then run away from home. Oh, I'm just teasing you, Walter. There's only one way you can make your mother happy, and that's by turning over a new leaf.
Well, I'll try, Miss Brooks, but meanwhile, just supposing again, what kind of a present would you like if you were a mother?
Oh, I wouldn't care much about presents, Walter. I'd just be happy if I had all my beloved children around me.
Gee. Oh, of course, my mother only has this one beloved child. Me. Well, but it is a lovely sentiment. However, I'd still like to figure out a little gift of some sort. Now, what would make a young mother like yourself happy?
A young father like Mr. Boynton. Oh, which reminds me, Walter, it's time for me to get down to his laboratory and pick him up for lunch.
Oh, did he invite you for lunch today?
Of course he did. About 10 minutes from now.
Now, tell me, Walter, were you able to find out what kind of a gift she'd like?
I couldn't find out a thing, Harriet.
But we've got to get her something. What's the good of naming Miss Brooks our mother away from mother if we can't surprise her with something she wants?
Gee, I'm sorry, Harriet, but all she'd say was that she'd be happy with all her beloved children around her. She was kidding, of course. I hope.
Kidding? She wasn't kidding. She meant us.
Oh.
Now, let's see. We'll organize a committee to pick out a gift and give it to Miss Brooks.
Great, Harriet. Then tonight will officially become Mother Away from Mother's Day night.
Well, now that we're finished with lunch, Miss Brooks, I've got a surprise for you.
Surprise? What is it, Mr. Boynton?
Guess.
You're picking up both checks.
No.
I'm picking up both checks.
No.
Then I give up.
Miss Brooks, I want you to meet my folks.
Why, Mr. Boynton, you've only known me for 5 years. This is so sudden.
I just found out they were coming to town myself. You see, they usually spend Mother's Day with my married brother, but Mom decided that this year it's my turn.
To do what? Oh, your turn to spend Mother's Day.
That's right. You'll love my mother, Miss Brooks. She used to be a school teacher, too, you know. As a matter of fact, she worked herself up until she was a principal.
You got to get pretty worked up to be a principal. Oh, I'm sure we'll get along splendidly.
And you'll be crazy about my dad. Oh, what a sense of humor he's got. He's the one who told me the joke about the quizmaster who called out, "I've got a lady, doctor," but before he could ask her any questions, she stuck a thermometer in his mouth and took his pulse. Isn't that a scream?
Your father sounds like more fun than a barrel of nothing. May I ask you a rather personal question about your folks?
Oh, certainly, Miss Brooks. What is it?
How long did they go around together before they were married?
9 years.
I see. Folks believed in long engagements in those days, I guess.
Oh, they weren't engaged until 6 weeks before the wedding.
6 weeks?
Mm-hmm. Once Dad makes up his mind about something, he's greased lightning.
I could have used a little greasing the first 8 years. I'll certainly be looking forward to seeing them, Mr. Boynton. When are they arriving in town?
Oh, this afternoon, Miss Brooks. I'll have to check them into a hotel for the weekend. I've just got a small bachelor apartment.
Yes, I know. You've told me about it. Maybe your folks would like to drop over to my place tonight. I'm sure my landlady, Mrs. Davis, wouldn't mind my dusting the living room a little.
Oh, that's just fine with me, Miss Brooks. That'll give my folks a chance to rest up from their trip and have some dinner before they meet the girl about whom they've heard so much.
Why, Mr. Boynton, you mean you actually wrote to your folks about me?
And how, Miss Brooks? I've written them many times about how gay and youthful and exuberant you are.
I am? You have?
Darn right. I remember in one of my most recent letters to them, I said you were more like a pupil than a teacher. In fact, I think that was a letter in which I described you as a great, big, overgrown kid.
Maybe I'd better take something.
You should have seen the answer I got from Dad. He said, whatever you do, son, don't rob the cradle.
Yeah, leave it to Dad.
Oh, he was jesting, of course. He loves youngsters.
Mr. Boynton, you've given me an idea.
Well, what kind of an idea, Miss Brooks?
If your father turns me down when I ask him for your hand, maybe he'll adopt me.
Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, will continue in just a moment. But first, here is Vern Smith. Here's wonderful news, ladies. Wonderful, wonderful news. Now there's something thrillingly new in Palmolive Soap's famous Beauty Lather. Yes, something thrillingly new. Palmolive's famous Beauty Lather now brings you new fragrance, new charm, new allure.
Millions of women will prefer Beauty Lather Palmolive over all other leading toilet soaps the minute they try it. For Palmolive Soap's famous Beauty Lather now has a new, clean, flower-fresh fragrance for new allure, new charm.
So, ladies, forget all other beauty care and use Palmolive Soap the way doctors advise for a lovelier complexion. Just stop improper cleansing and instead wash your face with Palmolive Soap 3 times a day, massaging Palmolive's wonderful Beauty Lather onto your skin for 60 seconds each time to get its full beautifying effect. Then rinse. That's all. All types of skin, young, older, oily, respond to it quickly. Don't wait another day to try Palmolive's Beauty Lather. You'll be thrilled by its new fragrance, new charm, new allure. Thrilled again by the fresher, brighter complexion doctors prove may soon be yours.
For new loveliness all over, use big bath-size Palmolive in tub or shower.
Well, I hurried home right after school and put Mr. Conklin's gift to his wife on my dresser. Then I started to make myself and the house as presentable as possible before Mr. Boynton's parents came over that evening. First of all, I shampooed my hair and set it in pin curls. Then I put on an old, oversized house dress, which I'd borrowed from Mrs. Davis. This intriguing combination achieved the happy effect of making me look like a pat rack drowning in a Quonset hut. Then I went into the living room to get things in order. When I got there, Mrs. Davis had just finished vacuuming.
Oh, Connie, will you pull the plug out for me? My back's been bothering me lately.
Oh, certainly, Mrs. Davis. There. Hey, this vacuum cleaner's pretty old, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. But it's held up remarkably well. I bought it in 1932.
1932?
Yes. This Hoover came in when the other one went out.
Well, just so the place looks nice and neat for tonight. You know, I've never met Mr. Boynton's parents before.
I know you haven't, Connie. And first impressions are so important.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I sent our sofa and all the chairs out to be recovered.
What?
Every chair in the house is at the upholsterer's, Connie. But don't worry. Stretch Snodgrass took them down for me, and he promised to bring them back by 6 o'clock.
Stretch Snodgrass? Look, Mrs. Davis, Stretch may be a fine athlete, but when it comes to mentality, he's strictly a third strike. Why, he's liable to forget where he took the chairs.
Oh, I don't think so, Connie. You know how absent-minded I am, and even I couldn't forget the name of this upholsterer.
Why not?
Because he has a very odd name.
What is it?
What is what?
The name.
Whose name?
The upholsterer.
Upholsterer?
Yes. Look, Mrs. Davis, the sofa and all our chairs are being recovered today.
Well, they can certainly use it. Where did you send them, Connie?
Fellow with a very odd name. I never can remember it.
I'm sure it'll come back to you later. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got to get out in back and look for our cat.
Minerva? Is she missing again?
Mm-hmm. She had a date this morning.
A date?
Yes, I heard her making it last night. But she should be back by now. She knows how I worry about her. Well, you let me know if she comes in the front way, Connie, and I'll take a look back here.
All right, Mrs. Davis. That's funny. Minerva never bothered to ring before.
How do you do, my dear?
How do you do?
I'm Philip's mother.
Philip?
Yes, Philip Boynton. I'm Mrs. Boynton.
But that's impossible. You won't be here till tonight. Oh, well, I mean, come in, Mrs. Boynton.
You don't have to tell me who you are, my dear. Philip has written so much about you.
He has?
Yes, he says Miss Brooks wouldn't know what to do without you, Mrs. Davis.
Mrs. Davis? Mrs. Davis?
Yes, honey.
That's Mrs. Davis, Mrs. Boynton. I'm Miss Brooks, such as I am. We've got company, Mrs. Davis.
Oh, she came in the front way, did she?
Yeah, she's right here in the living room.
Well, you tell her she's a wicked cat and put her under the piano.
Yes, Mrs. Davis. You're a wicked cat and get under the... Oh, no. Oh, you'll have to forgive me, Mrs. Boynton. I didn't expect you until after dinner.
Oh, well, that's perfectly all right, Miss Brooks. As a matter of fact, I owe you an apology for not recognizing you. But it was rather dim in here.
Not dim enough. But where's Mr. Boynton? Or should I say, where are Mr. Boyntons? Or Mrs. Boynton? Where's everybody?
Well, they had a little trouble parking the car, and I wanted to meet you myself first anyway. Philip's written so much about you. You must see an awful lot of each other.
Well, we do teach at the same school. I understand you were a teacher at one time, Mrs. Boynton.
Yes, indeed, for many years.
Oh, it's remarkable. You still look so well-fed. Youthful.
May we come in?
Oh, it's the boys. Hello, Philip, my dear.
Hello, Mom. Well, I see you two have met.
Yes, indeed. We're old friends by now.
Well, here she is, Dad.
It's Slippy 5, my dear.
5 what? Oh, fingers. How do you do, Mr. Boynton?
Well, I do pretty well for an old codger.
Old codger?
It caught you that time, didn't I?
I told you, what a sense of humor.
He's hot stuff, all right.
Phil's written is all about you, my dear. I hear you're just like a mother to Miss Brooks, Mrs. Davis.
This house dress has got to go.
This isn't Mrs. Davis, Harvey.
It isn't?
Oh, of course not, Dad. This is Miss Brooks.
Oh.
But why are we all standing out here in the hall?
Yes, let's all go in and stand in the living room. Follow me, please. Well, here we are. Now then, Mrs. Boynton, if you'll just come over to this lamp, that's a very comfortable place to stand. Mr. Boynton, you stand over there by the piano.
I don't understand, Miss Brooks. Where are all the chairs?
They're out being recovered. I didn't expect you for hours yet, Mr. Boynton. This is a terrible thing to do to anybody.
Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Brooks, but it couldn't be helped. You see, there was a convention in town, and I couldn't get the folks' accommodations anywhere. You know how big my room is, and, well, I wondered if you and Mrs. Davis could put the folks up for the weekend.
Why, Philip, I'm surprised at you. You know better than to whisper in front of others.
No, I'm sorry, Mother. I was just explaining our predicament to Miss Brooks. She was saying how delighted she'd be to have you stay for a couple of days.
Well, now that's what I call whopping hospitality.
It's a whopper, all right.
I wish you'd give me a hand with the garbage, Connie. I just can't... Oh, I beg your pardon.
This is Mr. and Mrs. Boynton, and this, contrary to popular opinion, is Mrs. Davis.
How do you do? Hello, Mrs. Davis.
Good afternoon, Mrs. D. Nice little place you've got here.
I just invited the folks to spend the weekend with us, Mrs. Davis. If you don't mind my doubling up with you, I figured they could have my room.
Oh, that's perfectly all right. Oh, dear, the upholsterer. You folks must be tired after your trip. Why don't you go to bed?
Bed? It's only 4:30 in the afternoon.
Oh, Mrs. Davis was only kidding, Mrs. Boynton. She's got quite a sense of humor, too.
Now, just remember one thing, Mrs. Davis. You can't kid a kidder, kiddo.
Doesn't he get off some cracks, Mrs. Davis?
Yes, he's a Jim dandy. Now, if you folks will just follow me, I'll show you to your room. Or rather, Miss Brooks's room.
Well, I could do with a bit of freshening up at that.
Oh, nonsense, Mother. You're as fresh as the day I got you.
Cut it out, Dad.
Yes, cut it out, Dad.
Oh, what Please, Harvey, stop. I don't know where he gets some of his ideas. He's terribly original, don't you think, Miss Brooks?
Oh, a second Oscar Hammerstein, Mrs. Boynton. Or to put it another way, the corn is as high as the elephant's eye.
Well, Miss Brooks certainly has a comfortable room, Harvey.
Yes, indeed. That shower and a little catnap's just what the doctor ordered.
Tell me, Harvey, what do you think of Miss Brooks?
Well, it's hard to tell in that outfit she had on, but once she combs her hair and climbs out of that gunny sack, I'll bet she's a looker.
Yes, but what is she looking for?
Oh, now, Mother, you think that every girl who meets him immediately sets her cap for Philip. Hey, what's this package on the dresser here? It says, for Mother. Huh, must be for you.
Oh, wasn't that thoughtful of Miss Brooks? She got a Mother's Day gift for me when she heard I was coming. I'm going to open it right now.
Oh, but Mother's Day isn't until Sunday.
Well, you know I'd never have the patience to wait. Let's see. Why, what's this? A black sheer negligee.
Well, happy Mother's Day.
Well, it's something for me.
Hey, look, this card fell out when you opened the package. It says, for baby from her goodie.
Well, so it belongs to Miss Brooks. Harvey, you don't think that Philip...
Ooh, certainly not. He wouldn't have nerve enough to ask for that in the store.
Well, I'm going to find out just where this came from. Oh, Miss Brooks.
Yes, Mrs. Boynton?
Would you come here a moment, please?
Certainly, Mrs. Boynton. What can I do for you?
Well, I opened a package by mistake and found this inside of it.
A black sheer negligee.
There was a card with it that said, for baby from Goody.
Goody? Oh, that must be short for Osgood. Why, of course, that was Mr. Conklin's gift.
Mr. Conklin, the principal of Madison High?
Yes, isn't he a devil? He asked me to keep it for him so his wife wouldn't discover it before Mother's Day.
Oh, it's for his wife.
Oh, yes. Who did you think it was for? Don't answer that. I can tell from the position of your eyebrows.
My eyebrows?
Yes, Mrs. Boynton. You'd better drop them a notch. You're pushing back your hairnet.
Well, it certainly was nice of you to invite us all to dinner, Mrs. Davis.
Yes, indeed. It's delicious, too.
Thank you, both of you. But Miss Brooks is the one who deserves the credit. She prepared it all.
Oh, come now, Mrs. Davis. You opened every bit as much as I did.
Beef stew, isn't it?
There's beef represented in it, yes.
Eat it slowly, Philip.
Yes, Mother.
Yeah, they say your stomach has no teeth, but maybe it's just as well. If it got too hungry, it could chew off your suspender button.
He always gets me when I've got a mouthful.
Now, Philip, he's such a baby.
Yes. He's nothing but a great, big, overgrown kid.
Now, that's funny. That's the same phrase that Philip used in describing you in one of his letters.
Well, she is, Mother. You ought to see her around the school. Why, the students just treat her like one of themselves.
Oh, yes, indeed. We kids have some great old times together.
Oh, I'm glad. I like Philip to have lots of useful friends. The younger, the better.
Well, they don't come much younger or better than Miss Brooks, Mother.
Well, thank you, Mr. Boynton.
Call me Philip tonight.
I'll answer it, Connie. Excuse me, folks.
I wonder who that could be.
Well, come in, kids.
Hey, Mrs. Davis, we're a committee.
Who is it, Mrs. Davis?
Walter and Harry and Connie. I'll bring them in.
Oh, we didn't mean to disturb you, Miss Brooks.
Oh, that's all right, Walter. I was just telling the folks how informal we are at Madison. Mr. and Mrs. Boynton, may I present Walter Denton and Harriet Conklin?
How are you? And now, Miss Brooks, we would like to present something to you that expresses the devotion and reverence felt toward you by the entire student body.
What is it, Walter?
It's a shawl. A shawl and a handsome pair of knitting needles to go with the rocking chair to which you're so attached.
Rocking chair, but...
Oh, I'm not finished, Mrs. Boynton. Miss Brooks, you have been chosen our mother away from mother.
Oh, no.
I'll go to the piano, Walter, and you sing the song we've written.
Okay, Harriet. Wait till you hear this, folks.
Pause that, Walter.
The B stands for the books she helps us study. The R is for she's righteous all so pure. The O is for the fact that she's our buddy. The second O is likewise, I am sure. The K is for okay. She rates a bow. The S is for her sadly wrinkled brow. She's motherly, just like Elsie the cow. Miss Brooks, we love you dearly.
Miss Brooks, that's me. I'll always be Miss Brooks.
Miss Brooks returns in just a moment, but first...
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl.
Tonight, show him how much lovelier your hair can look after a Luster Cream shampoo. Only Luster Cream brings you Kay Daumit's magic formula blend of secret ingredients plus gentle lanolin. Gives loveliness lather even in hardest water. Glamorizes your hair as you wash it. Luster Cream. Not a soap, not a liquid, but a dainty cream shampoo. Leaves hair fragrantly clean, free of loose dandruff, glistening with sheen, soft, manageable. Gives new beauty to all hairdos or permanents. 4-ounce jar, $1. Smaller sizes, either tubes or jars. Tonight, try Luster Cream shampoo. And be a
dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl. You owe your crowning glory to a luster cream shampoo.
And now, once again, here is our Miss Brooks.
Well, several days later, Friday night came to an end. As I escorted Mr. Boynton to the front door, he was in a strangely mellow mood.
You know, Miss Brooks, I'm a man of many dreams, but more often than not, I find I'm shooting too high.
Shooting too high, Mr. Boynton?
Well, yes, in trying to find the right girl, for instance. It seems that subconsciously I'm always looking for a girl who's just like my mother. Attractive, yet sweet and unselfish.
Well, don't give up the search, Mr. Boynton. Someday you're liable to find such a girl right under your nose. And I think that's a very nice location.
What I mean is, when you gave up your room for Mother, I suddenly realized that you're not only attractive, but also sweet and unselfish. So, Miss Brooks, instead of just shaking hands like we usually do...
Yes, Mr. Boynton?
I'd like to say goodnight to you the way I do to my mother. With a kiss.
A kiss, Mr. Boynton?
Yes, on the forehead.
There you go, shooting too high again.
Next week, tune into another Our Miss Brooks show brought to you by Palmolive Soap, Your Beauty Hope, and Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair. Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, is produced by Larry Burns, written and directed by Al Lewis, with music by Wilbur Hatch. Mr. Boynton is played by Jeff Chandler, Mr. Conklin by Gail Gordon. Others in tonight's cast were Jane Morgan, Dick Crenna, Gloria McMillan, Frank Nelson, and Myra Marsh.
Men, do you shave with a lather or brushless shave cream? Palmolive shaving cream comes both ways. And whichever way you prefer to shave, you'll find that using Palmolive brushless or Palmolive lather shaving cream can bring you more comfortable, actually smoother shaves. Here's the proof. 2,548 men tried the new Palmolive way to shave described on the tube. And no matter how they had shaved before, 3 out of every 4 got more comfortable, actually smoother shaves. Get Palmolive brushless or Palmolive lather shaving cream today.
For mystery liberally sprinkled with laughs, listen to Mr. and Mrs. North, the exciting fun-packed adventures of an amateur detective and his beautiful wife. Tune in Tuesday evenings over most of these same stations. And be with us again next week at the same time for another comedy episode of Our Miss Brooks. Bob Lamont speaking. Stay tuned now for Life with Luigi, which follows immediately over most of these stations. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Cigarette program starring Red Skelton with David Forrester and his orchestra, our singing star Anita Ellis, Gigi Pearson, Verna Felton, Pat McGeehan, and back from the CBI, our guest Wonderful Smith, and yours truly, Rod O'Connor. It's a pleasure to bring you Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's popular comedian and the star of the Raleigh Cigarette program, Red Skelton.
Thank you very much, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Well, spring is here, you know.
Yeah.
Everyone's glad spring's here, too. I was over at Griffith Park this afternoon, and even the benches applauded. I hope heard that. That'll burn him up.
Well, Red, what have you been up to this week?
Oh, I've been up to my neck. There's a mud puddle outside my door, you know. No, I haven't been doing much of anything. Santa Anita is close. I've joined the 100,000 of homeless people, you know.
Well, what are the people doing that used to bet at Santa Anita?
Well, the people that only bet on the sure things are now betting on pedestrians crossing the street. They'll give you 6 to 1 that you can't cross against the red light.
How about the green light?
That's 20 to 1. What's that Griffith Park joke? I love that. Say it again. Oh, Bob Hope!
Yes, sir, it's really spring. I know it's spring. I went by Griffith Park this morning while the benches were applauding. I'll try next door. Goodbye.
Hey, Bob, why don't you try the 4 frost warnings? They come on next. Oh, there's a great guy. After all these years, I've been following Hope. They say after there's no more hope, then comes Skelton.
Oh, say, Red, did you see the write-up you have in Screenland Movie Magazine?
Oh, yes.
They got a color picture of you in there. It's really something.
Oh, well, don't let that picture fool you. Down deep inside, I'm not healthy at all. In fact, I took off my shirt, and I was hissed out of the YMCA. The Cub Scouts were in training there.
Well, why don't you see a good doctor?
Yeah, I did. He's very modern. He don't say stick out your tongue. He just shows you his bill and it falls out.
Well, what does the doctor charge?
Oh, $1,000 a visit.
Does anyone pay it?
No, but he just likes to see their tongues fall out.
Well, what did the doctor say is wrong?
Well, he said I had a falling stomach. Of course, I didn't believe him until I tripped over it going out the door.
Well, you know, the best way to find out if you're really healthy is to try and buy life insurance.
I did.
No soap?
No life. Well, David.
Good evening, friends, and the world listening.
David, the way you read clean lines is a dirty shame.
Well, the other programs I've worked on never complained.
Oh, you've been on other shows?
Yes, but the part wasn't very big. I was Ma Perkins' husband.
Oh. He's a talent scout for a morgue if I ever saw one. And medical science can give you proof positive. By the way, have you tried for any life insurance lately, David?
Yes, they sold me some, but it's rather embarrassing.
How come?
Every time they see me, they try to pay me off. Some insurance is ridiculous.
The same guy don't write for you that writes for Hope, does he?
That's so ridiculous.
No, I didn't think so either, the way you stood over there to read that line.
Well, say, do you know how many people were killed last year in bathtubs alone?
Well, how else can you take a bath? You know, I have a good policy. You pay 2 cents a week, and I get $50,000 if I'm ever killed by a baby crossing the street. And if it's at noon and I'm wearing yellow socks, it pays double. And now our lovely Anita Ellis will sing All Through the Day.
I sit alone in the golden daylight, but all I see is a silver sky. For in my fancy I sweep away light and keep my image of the sky. About the night here with you. All through the day I wish away the time until the time when I'm here with you. Down falls the sun, to meet you. The evening mist melts away. Down smiles the moon, and soon your lips become the kiss I dreamed of.
From the Skelton scrapbook of satire is entitled Newspaper. Our characters are fictional. If there's any similarity to persons living, it's not only a coincidence, it's a dirty shame. Chapter 105 is the story of Deadeye, and a Western newspaper that's trying to clean up a city of crime. Whoa! Whoa! Oh, come on, horse! Oh, come on and stop, will you? I got some sugar in my pocket. If you'll stop now, I'll give you a lump. Oh, now we both got a lump. I'll be right back, old pal. I'm going into this bar here and grab myself a bit of free lunch. Well, bartender, I don't care much for this free lunch. I got something stuck between my 2 front teeth. Can't get it out. You don't have a toothpicky, do you?
No.
Don't have a piece of string or spaghetti I could use, have you?
No.
Well, then there's only one thing to do. Don't know where there's a good dentist, do you? I just found a little cavity up here.
Well, Deadeye.
Well, wonderful Smith, how are you?
Oh, you sure look good. You look like a handsome cowboy movie star.
Yeah, did you ever see one of them cowboy movie stars?
Nope, that's what I mean. You look like something I ain't never seen.
I hear you're working for Maggie the Clipper's newspaper.
Yep, my allotment was cut off and I just had to get a job.
Well, what's the latest news?
Well, did you see the evening paper?
I don't read the paper myself. In fact, I don't read nothing with writing on it. What do it say?
Well, Miss Maggie has started a cleanup campaign.
Yeah, what for?
Well, it's the newspaper's duty to make the town clean and safe for good law-abiding citizens.
Yeah, well, we only got 2 good law-abiding citizens in the town.
What did you say?
I said, we ain't got no law-abiding citizens. Say, what do them big black words at the top of the paper say?
It says the sheriff has given notice that all the gamblers, cattle rustlers, killers, and horse thieves will have to get out of town by tomorrow.
Really? I wonder if the sheriff's packed yet.
Yeah. Well, looky. They got you in the obituary column.
Yeah? Who did I marry?
It says you died March the 16th.
Really? Well, now, somebody ought to told me about that. Kind of bad walking around like David Forrester and not knowing it. I'm proud of that. That ain't it. What else do it say?
Well, it also says, and I quote, that you are a low-down, yellow-livered mongrel, unquote.
Yeah. Well, at least the paper prints most of the facts anyhow. But I'm going to get the guy that wrote that lie.
I wrote the article, Deadeye, but don't reach for your gun.
Ooh!
What happened, Deadeye?
I keep forgetting to take my gun out of the holster. That's how I got all these holes in my shoes.
Hey, Deadeye, I thought you'd like to know that Three-Finger Charlie's on his way to wreck Maggie the Clipper's newspaper office.
Come on, Wonderful. We got to go over there and arrange a funeral for old Three-Finger Charlie. Hey, that's a nice horse you got there, Wonderful. He's a little wild, though, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm the only man who can ride him. Watch this.
I thought you were the only man that could ride him.
Well, sometime he forgets it's me.
Well, come on, let's go. Giddy up, boy. Whoa! Howdy, Maggie.
Hello, Deadeye. Hey, ho, that's fast.
Maggie, it's been a long time since I've seen a beautiful woman.
Really, Deadeye?
Yeah, you don't know where I can find one, do you?
Well, don't you think I'm a pretty nice dish, Deadeye?
You built more like a platter, if you ask me.
Same old wisecracks and same old bow legs.
Well, what's wrong with that? A lot of guys have got bow legs.
Yeah, but not clean up to the ears.
Never mind that. Where's that Three-Finger Charlie, that skunk without a friend in the world?
I'm right behind you with the gun in your back. What do you want?
I want to tell you got a new friend.
I thought I killed you once.
How could you? You only shot me in the head. Bullet's still going around looking for something to hit, you know. Three-Finger, we're going to run you out of town. The people say you're a crook.
Never mind the details. I don't like details myself. Now, what are you going to do?
Yeah?
And be careful how you answer, because you're talking to the best shot this side of Earl Flynn.
Stop reaching for those gags or I'll blast you full of ad-libs, boy. Let's make this fair and square, huh? I'll count 3 and then we'll both draw.
Okay. That sounds fair to me.
It does?
Yep.
Of course, you don't know what I'm thinking, do you?
Deadeye, you ain't planning on cheating, are you?
No, I ain't planning on cheating. Probably will, though. You ready, Three-Finger?
Start counting.
There.
Deadeye, you didn't even count.
Well, that's because I know how Charlie hates details. And now David Forrester plays one of his own compositions by Tchaikovsky. Pop Goes the Weasel. Chapter 106 is entitled The Sunday Papers. The Sunday newspaper is Junior's dish. He loves the funnies, and when we find it 6 o'clock in the morning, everyone's asleep, except Junior, the mean little kid. Well, either it's time to get up or the mohin to push him out of bed again. Hey, Grandma, are you awake? Grandma, wake up, Grandma. Are you asleep? You asleep, Grandma?
Not now, no.
Where you go when you're asleep? I had to yell me with a head off.
Junior, it's only 6 o'clock in the morning. Go back to sleep till 7.
It must be 7 now.
No, Junior, the alarm clock is set to go off at 7.
Well, maybe it overslept. The old clock's getting pretty old, you know. It's got wrinkles in its face and dishpan hands, you know.
Now stop being silly and go back to bed until 7.
All right. Oh, this is discouraging. My whole life wasted away laying here in bed. I could have wrecked half of the house by now. I wonder if that old clock is running. Looks like it stopped to me. I hadn't moved a bit. Maybe I'll shake it, make sure. I'll bang it on the table. That ought to start it to ticking. Just as I thought, it's busted.
What was that?
That was the alarm clock going off. All over the room.
Junior, why aren't you as nice and quiet as you were when you were a little baby?
I don't know. I ain't been the same since I started taking me Wheaties straight, you know. Grandma.
Yes, Junior?
Did you start to live with me?
Yes, he did.
What did he get for it?
30 years.
Yeah.
Now, stop talking and go back to sleep.
No. Oh, I just heard the boys show the Sunday papers up on the porch. Can I go down and read the funny? You know, I'm dying to see Superman meet Flash Gordon. Head on.
Junior, I'd rather you concentrated on little Orphan Annie.
I don't like no Orphan Annie.
Why not?
No blood. Can I go read the funny, sir?
All right, you win, but behave yourself.
Well, don't I always behave myself?
No.
Well, then why do you bother asking me to do it for?
Can you get out of your sleepers all right?
I've been out of them for an hour. Last night I dreamed that I was trapped in a fire and I escaped through the rear exit. Hey, what shall I wear today?
Put on your nice Sunday suit, Junior.
You mean the black one?
Yes.
Made of velvet?
Yes.
With the pearl button?
Yes.
The moth ate it.
You'll have to put something else on.
Yeah, I put on my play suit, the one with the steel knees and the asbestos lining in it.
Go read the funny papers and let me rest.
Okay. Now I'm going to slide down the banister so I won't wear out my shoes.
Junior, what happened?
You know that vase with the flowers in it?
Yes.
But the flowers are still okay.
How about the vase?
I think it could use a broom.
Junior, dear, come upstairs to your grandmother a minute.
Nah. I don't like that hairbrush tone in your voice. Now, I wonder where that Sunday paper is. Oh, there's Mr. Beaumont, that man from next door.
Well, if it isn't Junior.
Yeah.
I have a hunch this is going to be a wonderful day.
I got a hunch you're going to change your mind, too, you know. Hey, what you carrying a stepladder for?
Well, I'm looking for my paper. I believe it's on the roof.
Oh.
Would you like to climb up this ladder and look for me?
Climb up the ladder and look for you? That's a little silly, isn't it? I can see you standing right here.
Well, then would you mind holding the ladder steady while I climb up to look for my paper?
Now, he ought to know better than that. Okay, go ahead, boy, if your insurance company would hate me if they only knew what I'm thinking, you know.
Now, hold the ladder steady now.
Yeah, Mr. Beaumont, don't you owe me a quarter?
Why, of course not. Why would I owe you a quarter, Junior?
For saving your life the time you was about to fall over the stepladder.
You never saved my life, and you know it. Junior, stop kicking that ladder. I may fall down and break my neck.
It'll take you a long time to catch on, kiddo.
All right, you win. Here's your quarter.
Thank you, kiddo.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
I am. I should have asked for $50.
I'd like to get my hands on the guy that introduced your mother to your father. Now, I'm going over to the other side of the roof and see if I can locate the paper. Now, don't you move that ladder.
Okay. Oh, look, here comes that old fat Mr. O'Connor, the man. Boy, now that he's up, I won't be able to see the sun for the rest of the day.
Good morning, young man. My, isn't it wonderful to be up and about so early? Isn't it delightful? Isn't it invigorating? Ah, spring.
Yes, you know the benches over in Griffith Park. Well, let's not get sickening about it, though, you know.
What did you say?
I said they're paying 2 cents a pound for waste fat down at the meat market.
4 cents.
All right, 4 cents, millionaire. Hey, what's wrong with you?
Well, I can't seem to find my paper. I wonder where it could be.
Well, did you look on the front porch? You know, sometimes the boy missed the roof, you know.
There's no doubt where it is. It's on the roof. Will you help me find it, Junior?
Okay, we can use this stepladder over here. Get it over.
Now, don't drag the ladder, Junior. It's liable to fall on you and break some of its rungs.
Yes. Boy, you sure loves me, don't you, huh?
Yes. Now, here, I'll take it to my house. Tell me, is Mr. Beaumont up yet?
I think so. I ain't heard him fall.
Now, hold the ladder while I climb up to the roof.
Okay. Look at old Lard Boy going up that ladder. He looks like a B-29 taking off, don't he? Hey, how much did you weigh?
300, but I hope to drop a few pounds.
I can help you drop all of it if you want to.
Ah, there's my paper.
Yeah, well, since you found it, you won't need the ladder anymore.
Don't move that ladder.
Oh, I won't.
Moved it.
I did not. It just changed directions, was all.
Junior, come back here with that ladder.
Oh, there's Mr. Beaumont up there.
Junior, I'm coming down. Are you holding the ladder?
Yes, I am, Mr. Beaumont.
How far do I have to stretch to reach it?
Oh, about halfway across the yard.
Junior, get that ladder over here.
Hey, Beaumont, the kid's got me stranded on the roof.
Where do you think I am? In the bathtub?
Junior, I'll give you a nickel if you get that ladder over here.
I'll give you another quarter.
I had 25 cents bid. What does the gentleman on your left offer?
35 cents.
I got 35. Who will make a quarter? 50 cents per point. If I can hold out, I'll be a millionaire. Time I'm 60. I got 50 out of my pit till I heard 60. I got 50 till I heard 60. I got 50 till I heard 60.
55 cents.
55 cents, you cheapskate.
Junior, you help those men down to there, or I'll give you the whipping of your life.
Sold to that lady with the hairbrush.
Remember, we'll all be back with you next Tuesday at this same time. Red Skelton, David Forrester and his orchestra, Anita Ellis, Verna Felton, Gigi Pearson, Pat McGee, and yours truly, Rod O'Connor. Until next Tuesday, then.
This is Red Skelton saying goodbye now, and thanks for listening. And remember, don't react to words, because words are seeds. And they'll grow from a word into a sentence, and into a sentence into a paragraph, and from a paragraph into a fabulous story. And there's enough dirt in each man's mind to make things grow. Good night.
Brown and Williamson invite you to other good listening throughout the week. Hear the Raleigh Room starring Hildegard tomorrow night, and People Are Funny with Art Linkletter Friday night, and return with Red Skelton next Tuesday. Red Skelton is heard in this program through the courtesy of Metro Goldwyn Mayer. Red Skelton is brought to you by the Brown and Williamson Tobacco Corporation. This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
And now get ready to smile again with radio's home folks, Crisco's Vic and Sade. Well, sir, it's late afternoon as we enter the small house halfway up in the next block now. And here in the living room, we find Mr. Victor Gook and his son, Mr. Rush Gook, at the library table playing rummy. And the elder contestant is saying,
"Why do you sit and look sluggishly at your cards?"
Figuring out something.
At this rate, I'll be an old man before the game's over.
You take all the time you want.
Oh, what an outrageous falsehood. I play fast. My brain works like lightning speed.
Okay. I'm discarding the 6 of diamonds.
Exactly what I need. By George, Williamson, you're in for an ignominious defeat. I mean to give you such a trouncing you'll gnash your teeth and tear your hair.
Here's mine.
Hi. Your father in here with you?
Yeah. We never get to finish the rummy game anymore.
Hello, Sadie. First girl to reach my side gets a hug and a kiss.
Put your rummies off to one side, fellas. We had big excitement around here today.
Indeed.
Mr. Gumpox and Mr. Donahue had an enormous fight this noon.
Indeed.
I just now heard about it. Been chatting with Mr. Gumpox out by the garbage box.
Fist fight?
No, they didn't actually hit each other, but they were both terrible mad.
I've never seen Mr. Gumpox terrible mad. Didn't think he could get terrible mad. The fellow that can get terrible mad is Mr. Razorskunk. By George, he really can get terrible mad.
Do you want to tell something, Rush, or would you like to have me tell something?
You go ahead.
You'll let me say 9 consecutive words without butting in? Howard ate Mr. Donahue's lunch.
Who's you?
Howard. You know Howard.
Mr. Gumpox's horse.
Oh.
Ate his lunch up slick and clean. Mr. Donahue was fit to be tied.
Oh, how did he
all this happened this noon. Around 1 o'clock, or kind of halfway in around through there, I imagine.
What were the circumstances attendant upon this?
Well, I'll tell you if you give me half a chance.
Shoot.
Mr. Gumpox was up the alley somewhere picking up some tin cans that had dropped off in his wagon. He left Howard out and back here beside Donahue's garbage box.
Howard is the type of horse that'll always...
I beg your pardon for talking. Go right ahead.
You go right ahead, Mom.
No, you.
Proceed, kiddo. He said another word, I'll throw him out the window.
Well, Mr. Gumpox left his horse and wagon out by Donahue's garbage box. Mr. Donahue come out the back door and headed across the yard on his way to the roundhouse. Had a Kansas City freight drag at 2 o'clock. When he got as far as the alley, he realized he'd forgot his pipe and smoking tobacco. So he put his dinner bucket on top of the garbage box and chased back to the house. Well, while he was gone, Howard calmly opened that dinner bucket and ate every smidgen of what was inside.
Oh, goodness.
Ain't that the bullet that choked Billy Patterson?
The most amazing incident.
Sound like an item from that Believe It or Not column in the paper?
Yes.
No joke to it, though. Mr. Donahue was hopping mad, and so was Mr. Gumpox. His voice just shook when he was telling me about it.
Why is he mad?
Who, Mr. Gumpox?
He's got no beef. Mr. Donahue was the guy that had the kick coming. Mr. Gumpox...
Mr. Gumpox is mad because Mr. Donahue hit Howard.
Oh.
Hauled off and hit Howard a real hard lick.
Don't know as I blame him. Some doggone horse ate my dinner.
Dick, Mr. Gumpox's voice just trembled when he was telling me about it. Ordinarily, he's such a meek fella.
Say, Howard must be a very brilliant animal. A dinner bucket has clamps to unclamp. How did Howard...
His nose. I guess the latch on the dinner bucket wasn't fastened very secure. Howard shoved it around with his nose, and it come open, and here were all these lovely sandwiches and slices of beef and stuff. Had a regular picnic for himself.
Donahue emerged from the house, walked out to the garbage box.
And seen what happened, yes.
Then he boiled his ring.
Oh, boy.
Well, I'd say he was considerable at fault. Certainly not very smart to leave an unlatched dinner bucket full of meat and stuff right under a horse's chin.
That's what Mr. Gumpox pointed out.
He appeared on the scene, huh?
Yeah, come running up the alley all out of breath and took in the situation at a glance. At first, he was apologetic, tried to make excuses for Howard. But when Mr. Donahue hit Howard, he went up and smoked.
What did you hit him with?
A newspaper.
Newspaper?
Yeah, a folded-up newspaper. Hit Howard with it hard as he could.
That wouldn't hurt.
Wouldn't hurt?
No.
Well, let me try hitting you with a folded-up newspaper once.
Folded-up newspaper wouldn't hurt a horse, man.
No. Howard whinnied and screamed and leaped 6 feet in the air.
Howard's just sticky.
I'll say.
Well, according to Mr. Gumpox, he certainly acted like he was hurt. Then everybody was mad. All three of them were in a rage.
My way of thinking, Pa Donahue had the real grievance.
Mine, too.
Well, Mr. Gumpox feels he had a grievance also.
Well, maybe he did.
I guess they went to fighting hammer and tongs. Mr. Donahue says, I got a Kansas City freight drag this afternoon, and now with my dinner bucket empty, I won't get a chance to eat till midnight. He was fit to be tied.
Howard was fit to be tied.
What do you mean?
Howard's a horse.
A special rebroadcast for the American Armed Forces and their allies. You're invited to drop in where the elite meet to eat. Duffy's Tavern.
Hello, Duffy's Tavern, where the elite meet to eat. Archie the manager speaking. Duffy ain't here. Oh, hello, Duffy. Tonight, Adolphe Manjou. Adolphe Manjou. Well, you remember Theda Barra? Well, Manjou was a fashion plate when she was still a dish. Yeah, he's a terrific guy, Duffy. Very suave. Huh? Your wife says you're suave? Duffy, she means a big fat suave. You know who else is coming down here tonight, Duffy? That French dame, Yvette. Yvette. Y-V-E-T-T-T-T-E. Yeah, she's a female chanteuse. Yeah, she sings, too. Huh? Duffy? Oh, well, Duffy, I gotta go now. You know, Clancy the cop. Yeah, Flatfoot Clancy. Well, the club he belongs to is having a meeting here tonight. The name of the club? The Policeman's Tuesday Night Foot Bath and Discussion Club. Yeah. Adolphe Manjou is going to give a lecture on men's clothes. I'm writing it for him. Yeah. I call it Men's Fashions Through the Ages, from the fig leaf to the BVD. Okay, well, I'll call you back, Duffy. Don't bother me, Eddie. I gotta finish writing this lecture now. The well-dressed man must watch out how he garbs himself, because he is always judged by his garbage. Since from time immemorial...
Mr. Archer, just a minute. You writing a talk on men's clothes?
Yeah.
For Adolphe Manjou?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Eddie, to any other man, that would be an insult.
To any other man, I'd apologize.
Accept it.
You talking about clothes. Look at you. Your hat's bashed in. There's a rip in your pants. Gravy on your shirt. A hole in your socks.
Well, Eddie, I'm wearing sports clothes. Besides, it is undue rigueur to look too spick and spat. A man's clothes should have an air of carelessness, casual.
Oh, yeah. That's why you look like a casualty?
Right. Yeah, I've always been a snappy dresser, Eddie. When I was a kid, you know what the gang on the block used to call me? Archie the Fop. And why?
Speech impediment?
No, because I was always so well groomed. Always first with the new styles. I remember I was the first guy on the block to come around with two-tone sneakers. And very fastidious, Eddie. I was the kind of a guy, you know, if me collar got dirty, I'd change the whole shirt. So, just because I don't look like I'm standing in Taylor's window like a dummy...
Well,
Finnegan, is your Taylor's name Sam?
So why?
I think he made the pants too long. Finnegan, you can't even see your shoes.
Well, tell you the truth, I'm trying to hide my shoes, Arch.
Why?
Well, I'm a little ashamed. 2 of the buttons is missing.
Finnegan, are you still wearing button shoes?
Well, Arch, I can't get new shoes on account of this rationing.
Well, what's the matter? Ain't you got an 18 coupon?
Yeah, but what good is it? I wear a 12.
Look, Finnegan, that's got nothing to do with it. You could have got your right size and taken your change in red tokens. But outside of the shoes, you look very nice, Finnegan. That bow tie. Very smart.
Don't get something I threw on.
Yeah. Oh, it's very nice. Goes with everything. You could even wear a shirt with it.
Hey, that's a very good idea, Arch. You're just the guy to help me with my problem.
What's the problem, Finnegan?
Oh, well, look, someday I get a full dress suit. Should I wear gold studs or silver studs?
Full dress suit. Well, it all depends, Finnegan.
On what?
On how much they want to spend on you, if you know.
You know? Who's that?
You are.
Oh. Well, we all gotta go sometime.
Look, Finnegan, don't bother me now. Tell Adolph Manju your trouble when he gets here, huh?
Yeah, I will.
Say, Archie.
Yeah, Miss Duffy.
What's this I hear about a new French singer coming down here?
So what about it?
Well, if you're going to hire a singer, what's wrong with my singing?
Just 2 things, Miss Duffy. And they're both adenoids.
Oh, yeah? Well, don't say I didn't warn you, Archie. Papa hates French chanteuses.
He don't like nothing unless it's an Irish tenor. You play a Caruso record to him, you got to tell him it's John McCormick. That dopey, stupid Duffy.
Now, just a second, Archie. Don't forget that stupid as he is, you are talking to my father's own flesh and blood.
Granted. But why does he have to have such a maniac over Irish tenors?
Because he's sentimental. Such a sweet old softy. You should see him when there's an Irish tenor singing on the radio. He melts. I have even seen him stop hitting Mama till the song was over. Yeah, and he's right, because the Irish are the best singers in the world.
Now, wait a minute. That's a very broad statement. Don't forget that there are Russians and other creeds who are pretty good singers, too. What about Tolstoy?
Well, yes, Tolstoy. But that's only one case. What about Gallikurchi?
What about Gallikurchi?
Well, wasn't he a great singer?
Well, certainly Gallikurchi was a great singer.
And where did Gallikurchi come from?
From Italy.
Well, Italy is not Russia, is it?
No.
Well, there you are.
There I am where, Miss Duffy?
Well, if Italy is not Russia and Gallikurchi came from Italy, how can you say that Tolstoy is a better singer than the Irish?
Would you mind playing that back again? No, you better not. Look, Miss Duffy, I didn't say that Tolstoy is a better singer than the Irish.
All right. Go ahead. Go ahead and get a Russian. Go get Gallikurchi.
If I did get Gallikurchi, your old man would want him to sing Wee Wee McCree.
Archie, the name of the song is Wee Wee Mother McCree.
Eddie, I gotta get this lecture finished for Radolf Manju. Hey, wait a minute. Who's that lovely dish coming in, Eddie?
I think that's that French singer you're expecting, Miss Yvette.
Oh, what a hunk of French pastry. Good evening, chérie, mademoiselle. Leave me bid you besame mucho.
Merci, monsieur.
Well, the merci is mutual. Vous êtes très revisant.
Vous êtes gentil, monsieur. Où avez-vous appris à parler le français?
Oui.
Monsieur n'a pas compris ma question.
Oui. Parlez-vous français?
Oui, naturellement. Très bien, monsieur.
But you make me feel right at home.
Why? Are you French?
A part. Only a small part, of course.
Was your mother French?
My mother was French, yeah.
And your father?
French, too.
Oh. Well, then, why are you only part French?
Well, we were a very large family. Yeah, but... I was brought up talking French, you know. I remember I was 15 years old before I learned to say hot dog instead of crepe Suzette.
Are you the manager of this tavern?
Yeah, I'm Archie, the maitre d'.
Excuse me, Mrs. Yvette.
Who are you?
I'm Eddie, the waiter d'.
Eddie, please, one does not interrupt a tete-a-tete unless one wants all of one's teeth knocked out.
But the customers would like to hear Miss Yvette sing.
Oh, Mademoiselle Yvette, voulez chanter us a small shanty? Monsieur Venuti.
Oui, Art.
See vous play a number for Mademoiselle Yvette?
Okay, fellas. Attention. 1, 2, 3, go.
Cathedral bells were tolling, and our hearts sang on. Was it the spell of Paris, or the London dawn? Who knows when we shall meet again? But when the morning chimes ring sweet again, sweet again, I'll be seeing you in all the old familiar places that this heart of mine retraces all day through. In that small cafe, the park across the way, the children's carousel, the chestnut trees, the wishing well. I'll be seeing you in every lovely summer's day, in everything that's light and gay. I'll always think of you that way. I'll find you in the morning sun, and when the night is new, I'll be looking at the moon, but I'll be seeing every lovely summer's day, in everything that's light and gay. I'll always think of you that way. I'll find you in the morning sun, and when the night is new, I'll be looking at the moon, but I'll be seeing you.
That was great, Yvette. You know, we ought to have a dame like that singing the joint regulator. You know, she could attract the French crowd.
Yeah, she's already doing it. Here comes Mr. Adolphe Montague now.
Well, Adolphe. Well, Mr. Montague, Duffy's is indeed proud to welcome a man of your distinguished haberdashery. And furthermore, it is with humble hospitability that we solicit our extentations to your august presence amidst these circular glooms.
What is this, a filibuster?
What's a filibuster?
Well, it's a speech about nothing made by a guy who knows all about it.
Imagine meeting Adolphe Montague in person. You know, I never missed one of your pictures.
Well, it's nice to meet one of the staying public.
Well, you didn't make much off of me, you know. During most of your career, I got in for half price.
Archie, please. Never remind an actor of his age. It's tough enough to face the fact that I'm nearing 39.
39. What is this, your second time around?
Can I ask him that question now?
Oh, yeah, Mr. Montague, this is Clifton Finnegan. He has a problem.
I'll say he has.
Well, Mr. Montague, here is my problem. So when I get my full dress suit, should I wear gold studs or silver studs?
Well, that varies according to the taste of the undertaker.
Undertaker, that's just what Archie said. Mr. Montague, this full dress suit is going to be for me wedding.
A wedding?
Yeah.
Well, is it an afternoon or an evening affair?
Oh, I expect it to last longer than that.
Just a second, Finnegan. When are you getting married?
Oh, just as soon as I get the license.
Well, congratulations. Where did you get the girl?
Don't they give you that with the license?
And thank you, Clifton Finnegan. Hey, Dolph, talking about clothes, that's a nice-looking suit you got on there. Buy it new?
No, I had it made.
Yeah, you have to have it made. I don't. I just walk into a store, put on a 38 suit, have the sleeves lengthen the pants, take in the waist, pad the shoulders, reset the buttons, and walk right out with a suit. A perfect 38.
Well, I have to have mine made. I guess I'm just a misfit.
Yeah, I guess you are, huh? Well, the one you look, the one you got on there looks pretty good. How do you get that nice sharp crease in the pants?
Well, I have a smooth mattress.
I use a damp cloth and a hot rock.
What do you use for a damp cloth? That shirt you're wearing?
Well, I was just waiting for you to notice this shirt. How do you like it?
It's lovely. What color was it?
I don't remember, but it's nice material. Beautiful material. Feel it.
Mm-hmm. Broadcloth.
Yeah. Yeah, but what's the difference? It's a man's style. Like I said in the lecture I was writing here.
Well, if it is me old friend Archie.
Well, Officer Clancy. Excuse me a minute, Dolph. I'll be right with you. Clancy, I ain't seen flat in a foot of you in weeks. Glad to see you.
Well, it's lucky I am to be here.
What do you mean?
Well, this morning I was on duty, taking a little nap in the back room over at Grogan's, when a terrible thing happened.
What happened?
Grogan's kid sneaked me blackjack out of me pocket and hit me over the head with it.
Well, gee, that could be serious, Clancy.
It was. It broke every cigar in me hat.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. What about the rest of the cops in the club? Are they coming?
Of course.
How many?
16 of them just came in through the back entrance.
What other way? 16. I thought there was going to be 19.
Well, a few of the boys couldn't show up. You see, the commissioner has ordered a drive against bookies, and the boys are busy placing some last-minute bets. Well, Archie, when are you starting your lecture?
Well,
Say, Archie, I have to be running along now.
But, Adolph, you can't go now. You can't get the lecture.
Well, what lecture?
A lecture on clothes that you're going to give to the cops. I wrote it for you.
You wrote a lecture on clothes? For me?
Look, Adolf, maybe I look like a bit of a slob now, but remember the old proverb, the hole in a man's pants is not the window to his soul. So what do you say?
No, definitely no.
No,
Archie, let me handle this. Mr. Minju, is that your automobile outside?
Yes?
Parked next to the hydrant?
Next to the hydrant? My car's parked at least 20 feet from the hydrant.
Okay, we'll move the hydrant unless you would like to proceed with the lecture.
And your point is well taken. Where's the speech?
Well, Adolf, have you looked over that lecture that I wrote?
Yes, Arch.
Well, tell me, what do you think of it?
It would take the heart out of Schaffner and Marx.
That is a very corny insult. Now, I write him, you just read him. Read the lecture. Now, Clancy, start the meeting, will you?
Okay, Archie. Here we go. The meeting of the policemen's Tuesday night foot bath and discussion club will now come to order. I now present Mr. Adolf Minju. No record.
Gentlemen, leave us begin our discourse appertaining to men's sartoriality. Archie, sartoriality.
Yeah, men's clothes. What'd you think it was, a barber shop? Proceed ahead.
Mm-hmm. The first clothes that was known to primitive man was loincloths. But loincloths was difficult to get because loins is very ferocious beasts. They do not stand still while you take off their cloths. So primitive man was dressed very naked until the invention of the sheep. The skin of the sheep is very valuable. From the outside we get wool, and from the inside we get diplomas. Archie, this is abominable.
Yeah, but you ain't come to the best part. Continue.
Well, the greatest step in clothing was the invention of the cotton gin machine. A machine for removing the gin from cotton. Well, previously, on account of the cotton being full of this gin, it was good for nothing. But after Eli Whitney's invention, cotton became the equal of wool, which never touched the stuff. Archie, where do you get your facts?
Research. I dreamed them up. Go ahead.
And now we come to Chapter 2, proper dress for policemen. Foot patrolmen should have their shoes stretched so they are large and comfortable. Mounted patrolmen will require other adjustments.
Stop it, Minju. You're a bum.
What's the matter, Clancy, you bum?
Why, the man that wrote that lecture should be thrown in jail. Who is the culprit?
Wait a minute. Not a word, Adolf. Let's stick together. Neither one of us wrote it, Clancy. It was wrote by an expert.
Who's the expert? Let me at him.
Well, we ain't sure, Clancy, but I think I know how I can find out. I would like to ask the assembled crowd here one interesting question. When wearing a full-dress suit, does one wear gold studs or silver studs?
At the times on the tasty you're undertaker.
Here's your man, Clancy. Take him away.
Do nothing.
Before we leave Duffy's, leave us put a couple of nickels in Duffy's jukebox. The plat is spinning. The needle comes down. It's music.
It's new. It's amazing. It's Prell. P-R-E-L-L. Procter & Gamble's new Radiant Cream Shampoo in the handy tube. Prell brings you The Life of Riley. Prell, the shampoo that removes dandruff in as little as 3 minutes and leaves hair radiantly clean, radiantly lovely, presents The Life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley. As a rule, the members of the Riley family get along quite amicably. But every now and then, the father and the son come into conflict with each other. A conflict that's usually resolved when the more intelligent of the two gives in gracefully. But today, Junior Riley seems particularly stubborn.
But, Pop, why can't I get a jalopy? I can drive swell.
Junior, stop arguing. I told you for the last time you're not getting no car.
But, Pop, it's only $40.
$40? You must think I'm made of dough. All I got is this one nickel to my name. Me, the head of the house. And your mother won't give me my allowance till Monday.
But I'm not asking you for the money. I saved up $40 and I can get a swell little car and fix it.
I said no. My head is made up.
No.
Junior, when your father says no, he means no.
No, I can never get anything out of him.
Junior.
Let me handle this, Peg. Now, look, son, I ain't selfish like some fathers. I love to make sacrifices for my kids and give them things. To show you the kind of a father I am, you got $40 saved up for a jalopy? Save up $3,000 more and I'll buy you a brand new Cadillac.
But this won't cost you any money.
It ain't the money. I'm not going to have you speeding around in a car knocking over pedestrians.
Anyway, you're too young.
Yeah, wait till you're older. You can get a license to do it. Now, go on. Go get dressed or we'll be late for my club's picnic. You got to go. I got us entered in the father and son race.
I'm not going.
Now, listen, Junior.
Never mind, Peg. Never mind. Let him stay home. I don't need him. I'll get his sister to be in the father and son race. Come on, let's go. Babs, you ready?
All set, Daddy. What's all the rumpus about?
No, they won't let me buy a car. All the other fellas...
Junior, I don't want to hear that word mentioned in this house again.
But why can't I have a car?
That's that. You got to be punished. No allowance for the next 4 weeks. And no football. You come right home after school and stay in your room.
Oh, but that's not fair.
I'm your father. I don't have to be fair.
Oh, you're always... I'll run away someday. You'll see.
No, Junior.
Yes, I will. I'll run away. You'll see. You'll be sorry.
Now look what you've done.
Look what I done. It's a losing fight.
Junior, dear.
Now, wait, Peg. Don't go in there. Let him stay in his room till he's ready to apologize. Now, come on. We'll be late for the picnic.
Oh, you and Babs go ahead. I don't want to leave him like this.
Oh, he'll be all right, Peg. All kids talk about running away, but they never do.
Well, some of them do. You told me when you were a kid you once ran away from home.
Oh, that was different. My father was chasing me. Come on, let's go.
But, Riley, I'm worried about you.
Worrying? He's just talking. I know child psychology. I just put myself in his place, and I know exactly what he's thinking.
You can't know.
Yes, I can. I may be 40 years old, but I can still think like a child.
Oh, hurry, Babs. Can't you walk a little faster, Riley?
What's the rush, Dumpling?
Well, I want to get home. When a boy of 13 talks about running away, it's serious.
Fine thing, dragging me away in the middle of the pie-eating contest. I was 3 pies ahead, too.
Will you stop it, Riley? Here I am, sick with worry, but you care less for your own son than you do for those stale pies.
I resent that. There's nothing I care for more than my stale son. I mean, I worry about him plenty.
Please, Daddy, don't shout on the street. And you don't look very worried now.
Because there's nothing to worry about. Silly. Kid ain't going to run away just because
Stop
I said...
talking so much and open the door.
No free speech anymore.
Junior? Junior? I hear him in his room. Junior, is that you in there? Well, Junior, why didn't you answer?
Oh, hello.
What? What are you doing with all those clothes? Well, look, he hid a suitcase under the bed. I knew it. I told you he'd try to run away, but you wouldn't listen. You know all about boys.
Now, wait, just because he's packing don't mean he's running away.
Well, what else could it mean?
Well, maybe he's getting married, or...
Junior, how could you even think of running away? You ought to be ashamed.
I don't care. I can run away if I want to.
Junior, I won't hear that kind of talk.
Hold on, Peg. Let me handle this.
Well, go on, then.
So you want to run away from home, huh, Junior? Okay, go ahead. Run away.
Riley.
I know what I'm doing, Peg. Psychology. Go on, son. Run away. I give you permission. Come on, I'll help you pack.
Chester, are you out of your mind?
Just temporarily. Come out here, Peg. I want to talk to you. Go on with your packing, Junior.
Riley, what are you up to?
Don't you get it? The best way to stop a kid from doing a thing is to tell him to do it.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Youngsters always do the opposite from what you tell them. That's the way I was when I was a boy. Whatever my folks said, I did the opposite. They said go to school. I went to work. They said work in an office. I worked in a factory. They said marry that beautiful girl, Mary Wallace. I married you.
Riley,
I'll tell him to run away. He'll stay home.
But suppose
you watch. He won't even leave the house. Now, you go make supper. I'll go back in there and use my psychology.
Oh, be careful now.
Well, Junior.
Daddy, you ought to straighten out this little dope. All he can talk about is running away to Mexico.
Mexico, huh? Well, in that case, I might as well say goodbye to you, Junior. Buenas noches, senorita. When you're down there, send me a basket of cucarachas. They're my favorite dish.
Daddy, it's no joke. You need
Dad,
to
go help your mother.
Oh, all right.
Well, son, as we Mexicans say, hasta la visitor.
Oh, quit making fun of me. I will run away someday, you'll see.
Someday? Do it now. Believe me, you'll love it. Here, let me pack for you. Yes, sir. I once ran away and joined the circus. They gave me a job as night watchman. I'd still be there, only I got fired. Somebody stole an elephant right from under my nose. Junior, here, you better take along these sweaters and this heavy underwear. It might be cold. Yes, sir, Junior, I had the best time of my life. There's nothing like running away from home.
Don't worry, I will.
You bet you will, and that's an order. And say, son, I notice you got pictures of me and your mother and your sister on the dresser here. Not that you'll get lonesome never seeing us, but might be a good thing to have them along.
Well, okay. Hand me Mom's picture, will you?
Here you are.
And Babs' picture?
There. And here's...
That's all.
Well, you might as well take mine, too, in case you want something to start a fire with. Well, you finish your packing. Don't forget to come in and say goodbye before you run away. Hey!
Riley, is everything all right?
Perfecto, senor. He's cured.
Oh, thank heaven.
You know what did it? I ordered him to run away.
You what?
I told him what a great time he'd have. He fell for it like a ton of bricks.
Oh, then he promised he wouldn't go.
Well, he didn't go that far. His pride wouldn't let him. But don't worry, he won't leave this house.
Well, what's he doing now?
Well, he's probably unpacking the valise. I packed it for him.
You packed it?
Yes, sir. That's what really changed his mind.
Oh, well, I'm glad that's over. Oh, Junior, supper's on the... He's gone.
He can't be. He must be hiding here someplace. Look in his valise.
Oh, the valise is gone. Look, the window's open. He went out the window.
Oh, no, he couldn't have. He must be hiding. Junior, come out. Don't play hide and seek. I'll find him.
Oh, stop looking in the inkwell. He went out the window. Oh, look, the shrubbery's all trampled.
Peg, my first hunch was right. He's gone.
Oh, you and your psychology. Of all the stupid, insane...
Now, Peg, take it easy. This is all part of my plan. I knew he'd go.
You knew?
Well, sure, I figured he'd leave the house and then I'd follow him, see?
Well, then what are you standing there for? Go after him.
Oh, yeah, I'm going. Now, don't worry. This is all part of my plan, see? Psychology. I'll give him enough rope until he hangs me.
Step lively. Watch the step. Come on, kid. Make up your mind. You getting on this bus or not?
I'm getting on.
Well, snap into it. I ain't got all day.
Junior, wait for me. Hold it. Wait. Whew. I made it.
Deposit 5 cents in the box.
Another second I'd have missed you, Sonny.
Well, I suppose you want to take me home now. Well, okay, let's get off.
No, I wouldn't think of it. I'll just go along with you a little way.
Hey, what is this, a coffee clutch?
Deposit 5 cents in the box. Oh, gee, I left my money at home. I'll have to get off.
No, you won't. Here, I'll lend you a nickel. That's for my boy's fare, driver.
Okay. How about your fare?
Oh, yeah, sure. That was my last nickel.
Now, look, Mac, put your fare in the box or get off of the bus.
But you don't understand, driver. This is an emergency. My boy here is running away from home, and I've come to see him off. You know how it is. You're probably a father yourself. It ain't every day a boy runs away from home.
He's running away and you're seeing him off?
Yeah.
There's nothing in the regulations that says I gotta transport screwballs. Now get off!
Now, wait a minute. Hey, take it easy. Go. Wait. Stop! Junior! Junior, come back! Junior! He's gone. Could it be there's something wrong with my psychology?
Riley, is that you? Where have you been? Where's Junior?
Hey, I got news for you. Junior's run away.
Didn't you find him?
Well, I did and I didn't.
Well, what do you mean, Daddy? Talk sense.
Well, I saw him getting on a bus, so I got on too, but he didn't have any money for his fare.
So they put him off?
No, I lent him a nickel.
You lent him a nickel?
Well, don't worry, he's good for it.
How could you do such a stupid thing?
Well, now, let me explain. You'll understand. You see, I figured that Junior would, well, you see, the bus was I thought if I went, how can I expect you to understand? I don't understand myself.
I should have gone after him myself. Oh, Riley, you'll give me gray hair.
Oh, don't cry, Peg. If I do, I'll tear him out by the roots. That's a promise.
Well, there's no sense standing here. We've got to find him. I'm calling the police.
No, you mustn't do that. We don't want a scandal. You know what the neighbors are like. They'll see the cops coming in here, and they'll think you beat me up.
They won't be far wrong. And I don't care what the neighbors think. I want to find my poor boy.
Well, so do I, Peg, but wait till tonight. He's sure to come back by then. I know just what's going on in his mind, so let's just use a little psychology.
If you say that word once more, I'll... Oh, I don't know why I ever listened to you. If it hadn't been for you, Junior...
Don't cry, Gumpox. It'll be okay. I'll find him. I know it's natural for a mother to worry, but believe me, in 1 hour your worries will be over. I'll have him back here dead or alive.
We'll hear the second act of The Life of Riley in a moment. Everybody's cheering for Prell.
For Amazing Prell, Procter & Gamble's new Radiant Cream Shampoo in the handy tube.
Here are 2 reasons why everybody's cheering for Prell.
First, women like Prell because radiant's the word for Prell washed hair. Why, Prell actually leaves hair more radiant than any soap or soap shampoo.
Second, both men and women like Prell because of the way it goes after dandruff. Prell removes unsightly dandruff in as little as 3 minutes. Examinations by a group of doctors proved it. Even stubborn dandruff was controlled by only 2 Prell shampoos a week.
And the whole family likes Prell's handy tube. No messy jars, no slippery bottles.
No wonder everybody's cheering for...
P-R-E-L-L, Prell Shampoo. Leaves hair radiant, gleaming bright. Not a bit of dandruff is inside. Comes in a tube, handy too. P-R-E-L-L, Prell Shampoo.
Buy Prell Shampoo. And now back to The Life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley.
Hello, Babs.
Hello, Daddy. Any sign of him?
No, I looked everywhere. I turned the town upside down.
But where would a kid like Junior go to?
That's what I asked myself. I said to myself, where would I go if I was a kid and I ran away from home? I must have been to every burlesque show in town. Where's your mother?
Still out looking for Junior. She called before and she sounded awful over the phone.
Oh, I just can't face her, Babs. When she hears I didn't find him, Listen, we'll have to tell her that Junior is back.
But he isn't.
We'll make out that he is.
We can't do that.
Sure I can. Now, I'll fix up pillows in Junior's bed so it looks like him. I'll use a little pillow for his head and a big pillow for his... I can do it.
But, Daddy,
Then we'll tell her that she can't disturb him because he's sound asleep.
But it's cruel to fool Mother like that, and she's sure to find out in the morning.
Well, by that time, Junior will be back. I know it. I guarantee it. I know, boys.
No, Daddy, I won't have anything to do with this.
Please, Babs, you gotta help me out, please.
It's no use begging me.
I'm not begging you as your father. I order you.
No.
All right, I'm begging you. You gotta do this, Babs. I just ain't got the heart to tell your mother I didn't find Junior. Not that I'm afraid of what she'll do to me. It's her I'm thinking of. She won't sleep all night.
I know,
You know how she worries. She's liable to get sick. You want your mother to get sick?
Well, of course not.
Well, then do like I say. At least then the poor darling will have a peaceful night.
Well, all right if you think it's best.
I know it's best. And when have I been wrong?
But I don't like the idea of lying to Mother.
Neither do I, but when you spare somebody's feelings, you ain't lying. I ought to know. I've been sparing your mother's feelings since the day we got married. There we are, Babs. Now, I'll just pull this blanket up a little. There, now I'll put the light out. That's better. Yes, sir, you could swear Junior's sleeping in that bed.
He looks a little lumpy.
Well, I won't let her get this close. It's your mother. Come on out and shut the door.
Oh, Riley.
Hey, I got good news.
Junior's back.
Yes, just a little while ago.
Oh, thank heaven. I was frantic. Is he all right? I want to see him. Junior?
Oh, he's sound asleep in his room. He was dead tired, so I put him right to bed. You mustn't disturb him.
But I just want to take one look at him. I won't feel at ease until I do.
Well, okay, just one peek. There he is. Don't go in. Just stand here in the doorway.
But I can't see very well.
Don't put the light on. You'll wake him up.
And all the poor dear. Did he have something to eat? Well...
Don't worry. He's stuffed. Now, let's get out of here before he wakes up, Peg.
Oh, what a relief to have him home. Where was he all this time, did he say?
Plenty of time for questions in the morning. Now, you better go to bed. You need rest.
Oh, yes, I'm dead. Well, good night.
Good night, Duffy. Oh, it worked. She don't suspect a thing.
I still don't like the whole idea.
Well, the main thing is she stopped worrying. Tonight, she's a happy mother.
But suppose she finds out you tricked her.
Well, then tomorrow night she'll be a happy widow. I'm going out. I gotta find that boy. What a mess. The way I feel right now, I wish the earth would open up and swallow me.
Perhaps I can help.
Who's that?
It is I, Digby Odell, the friendly undertaker.
Oh, it's you, Digger.
Greetings, Riley. You look terrible. Glad to see you.
I got big troubles, Digger.
A common complaint. Whenever trouble besets me, I plunge into civic work. I've just come from the UEPSALC.
UEPSALC.
The Undertakers, Embalmers, and Pallbearers Save a Life Club. We're campaigning for careful driving.
Driving? That's what started the trouble with my boy, and now he's run away.
Oh, you have my sympathy. Once when I lived in New York, my son Mustang ran away.
Well, did you have trouble finding him?
I asked myself, where would a son of mine run away to? So I went there, and there he was, in Grant's tomb.
I can't find my boy anywhere.
Did you search thoroughly?
Yeah.
In our profession, we have a saying, leave no stone unturned.
Well, I looked all over town. I tell you, Digger, this whole thing's made me sick.
And your dear wife, She must be frantic.
Well, she's okay now. You see, I told her he came back home, and she believed me.
And she thinks the boy is safe?
Yeah.
Man alive, if you'll pardon the expression. What possessed you to play such a cruel practical joke?
Well, I didn't want her to worry tonight.
Beware, Riley, or your joke may boomerang, which happened to the late Ambrose Twill, whose epitaph I quote. Here lies Ambrose Twill, who thought 'twould be funny to scare the life out of Grandpa and inherit his money. He lit a 12-inch firecracker, but then forgot to throw it. Now Ambrose is in clover, but he doesn't know it.
But I'll find Junior by morning. I've got to.
Suppose you don't. Think of the shock to your beloved spouse. Take my advice. Go home. Tell her the truth.
I guess you're right. I'll go and tell her. Gee, Digger, you always give me such good advice. You should have been a lawyer.
Lawyer, undertaker, there's not much difference, basically. A lawyer gets people out of a hole while I... Oops, that reminds me, I have an appointment. Well, cheerio. I'd better be shoveling off.
Babs here. Mother, why did you get out of bed? I heard a noise in the kitchen. Were you or your father in the kitchen before? Oh, not me, and Daddy went out. Go back to bed. You probably just imagined. No, I didn't. I heard somebody prowling around in there. Come on, we better go see. Oh, it might be a burglar. Who's there? Who's in there?
It's me, Junior. Will you put on the light?
Why'd you get up, Junior? And why are you all dressed?
Just got home.
You just got home? But I was in your room an hour ago, and I saw you sleeping at... Oh, I see. Well, I never thought I'd live to see the day your father outsmarted me. Well, Daddy just put the pillows in the bed so you wouldn't worry tonight. You see, he figured... Never mind that now. The important thing is Junior's really back. Oh, darling, do you realize what a terrible thing you did?
I'm sorry, Mom.
We looked all over town for you. Daddy's still out looking for you. Where were you all this time?
In our garage.
For heaven's sake.
Hey, Mama, I'm hungry. I didn't eat all day.
Oh, you poor dear. You must be starved. There's your father now. Babs, make Junior a sandwich. All right, Mom. I'm going to have a little talk with your father.
Peg.
Here I am, Riley.
Oh, Peg, you're up. Peg, listen. There's something I got to tell you.
I got something to tell you.
Now, let me tell you first. Prepare yourself for some shocking news. I'm a beast.
Well, what's the shocking news?
I told you, Peg. Junior didn't come back. I put pillows in the bed. You see, I didn't want you to worry. Please don't be sore. It was just one of my crazy ideas, but I didn't mean any harm. You know me. Everybody says I'm harmless.
Now, listen,
Now,
Riley.
don't you worry, Peg. I'll find Junior. I'll have him here before morning. I guarantee it. I got a plan, see?
Oh, you have, huh?
Yeah.
What? Who are you phoning?
The newspaper. I'm putting in a personal ad for Junior. That'll bring him back. You'll see. Hello? Classified ad? This is Chester Riley, 1313 Blueview Terrace. I want to put an ad in the personal column.
Riley, would you please?
I want it to go like this. Dear Junior, please come back. All is forgiven. Come back and I'll...
Hello, Pop.
Oh, I can hear his little voice. No, don't put that in the ad. Say like this. Come back, Junior. I'll raise your allowance, and I'll buy you a new bicycle, a red one.
With headlights.
With headlights.
Riley, hang up that phone.
When will you print it? Tomorrow morning? Okay. Peg, this ad will get... Junior, you're back. You came back. What a newspaper. Junior, my little baby.
Well, Pop, put me down.
Oh, Junior, darling, why did you run away? Your mother and me were so worried, darling. When we couldn't find you, we almost went crazy, darling. You deserve a good licking, darling.
Riley, what are you doing?
Taking my belt off. I never licked him before, but this time he's got to be taught a lesson.
Now, wait, Riley.
Bend over, Junior.
But Pop.
I said bend over.
Okay.
Now, wait a minute. Before I give it to you, I want an explanation. Why did you run away?
Well, I wasn't going to at first. I was only kidding, but...
But what?
But you talked me into it. I didn't want to run away. You forced me to.
Oh. Well, here, Junior. Here's the belt. I'll bend over.
We'll be back in just a moment. No wonder everybody's cheering for Prell, the new Radiant Cream Shampoo in the tube. Hundreds of unsolicited letters prove Prell lives up to its promises. Helene Fleischman of Blue Island, Illinois, voluntarily writes to Procter & Gamble.
Prell is everything you say it is. My hair looks radiantly clean and feels clean. It's Prell for me.
And friends, it'll be Prell for you once you see how quickly Prell removes unsightly dandruff. Leaves hair radiant. Yes, you'll want to sing.
P-R-E-L-L, Prell shampoo, leaves hair radiant, gleaming bright. Not a bit of dandruff is inside. Comes in a tube, handy too. P-R-E-L-L, Prell shampoo.
Oh, come on, Peg. Don't be sore. I keep telling you I just didn't want you to worry. Come on, give me a kiss.
No.
Oh. Okay, don't give me a kiss. I forbid you to give me a kiss. I wouldn't let you kiss me if you gave me $100.
Your psychology won't work with me.
Trapped. Now I got to get by on my good looks.
Procter & Gamble invites you to join us again next week to hear The Life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley. The Life of Riley is produced and directed by Irving Bracker.
She was the gay artist model, and she never had stocking on, because her stockings she coddled with wonderful ivory snow.
Ah, wonderful ivory snow, the soap that's so kind to your hands, you just know it's kind to sheer nylons and dainty lingerie. And your hands will tell you why ivory snow keeps lovely washables lovely longer. Prove it by this simple test. This week, wash your dishes with ivory snow. When you see how it pampers your hands, you'll really know it's extra kind to your fine fabrics. You see, there's no other soap like it. Ivory Snow is the only granulated soap that's ivory mild. Makes suds instantly and lukewarm, even in cool water. So let your hands tell you why Ivory Snow keeps pretty undies, print dresses, and other nice things lovely longer.
Yes, wonderful ivory snow.
S-N-O-W.
This is Ken Carpenter reminding you that for radiantly clean, lovely hair, get the shampoo in the tube. P-R-E-L-L, Prell Shampoo. And listen again next week when Prell brings you The Life of Riley. Good night.
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
The makers of Postum, the favorite mealtime drink in 3 million American homes, present your favorite radio friends, Lum and Abner. Have you ever noticed how people love to get together around the table over a steaming hot drink and talk things over? I'll bet you've solved many a problem that way yourself. And Postum is the sort of hot drink that fits right into that picture. It looks so good. It smells so fragrant and appetizing. And when you taste that smooth, mellow Postum flavor, when you feel that satisfying warmth tingling through your veins, well, you just naturally feel relaxed and sociable. And that's true whether it's Postum cereal or instant Postum. For there are two kinds, you know. Postum cereal is the kind you boil or percolate, the same as you do coffee. It's fine if you want to serve Postum to the whole family, or if you like to keep a pot on the back of the stove ready to serve a hot drink at any time. The other kind, instant Postum, comes in especially handy when there's just one member of the family drinking Postum. Because instant Postum is the quick kind. You make it right in the cup. Just put in a teaspoon of instant Postum, add hot water, cream and sugar to taste, and there it is. Or, if you prefer, when you're making an in-between mealtime drink for one of the youngsters, for instance, prepare instant Postum with hot milk instead of hot water for extra nourishment and extra deliciousness. Begin tomorrow to enjoy this wholesome, delectable mealtime drink. Ask your grocer for Postum cereal or instant Postum. And now let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Lum and Abner are now operating the Lonesome Heart Matrimonial Bureau. The old fellows used the $18 Lum collected for the Jot 'em Down store to place an ad in newspapers throughout the surrounding territory day before yesterday, and are now anxiously awaiting letters from prospective customers. As we look in on the little community today, Lum has gone over to the post office for the mail, and we find Abner alone at the store talking over the telephone. Listen.
Well, that's what they all charge Sister Simpson. That's what Whistling Jim Williams paid for that woman he ordered from the matrimonial bureaus, $25. Well, they ought to be worth it if they're worth anything. Uh-huh. Well, now, if we don't find you a husband, why, you don't owe us nothing. Mom? Oh, no, we can't guarantee them. But we just send you pictures, and then you pick out the one you like the looks of and start writing to him. And if you decide he's the one you want, why, give us $25 and he's yours. Just a minute, Sister Simpson. Here comes Lum now. I'll let him explain it to you. Just a minute. Come here, Lum, and talk to Sister Simpson.
Sister Simpson?
Yeah, she's wanting to know how...
Well, I ain't got time to talk to her right now, Abner. We got some letters here to the matrimonial bureau. I want to read them first.
Well, that's what she's wanting to find out about. She wants us to find her a man. And I can't seem to make her understand how our matrimonial bureau works.
Oh, yeah, I'll talk to her. I never knowed she was wanting to get married.
Yeah, here. She's seen our advertisement in the paper, she said.
Lonesome Heart Matrimonial Bureau. I can't even say that.
Yeah, well, it'll take some time, I guess.
Matrimonial Bureau, yes, Mom.
I'll take that in.
This is Lum. Oh, tolerably well, I reckon. How are you, Sister Simpson?
Sister Simpson.
Uh-huh.
Hate that old woman to pieces.
Oh, well, we won't mention it to her soul. You needn't worry about that. It's all confidential.
Don't want to
Yes,
out around town, that's her.
Well, you send us a picture yourself, and we'll send it out to all the men customers that's looking for a wife, and then we'll send you any pictures of men folks that we get in, and then you can pick out the one you like.
Send her a picture of somebody scared.
Yeah, you can write to them and tell them all about yourself, and that way you'll get to writing backwards and forwards, and if you suit one another, why, you get married and owe us $25 apiece.
Well, I'll have to be awful.
Yes, Mom, they both pay.
Bad eyes to marry her.
All right. Well, I don't know. We've got some letters here now that I ain't opened up yet.
Oh, good.
Might find somebody in there for you, you know. Yes, Mom, we will. All right, Sister Simpson. Yeah, send over the best picture you've got of yourself. One that was took a few years back wouldn't hurt nothing.
A long time back would be better.
Well, no, but I just thought...
Baby picture.
Well, I never meant that, but lots of times these photographers makes folks look a heap older than they are, you know. Yes, Mom. All right, not at all. Goodbye.
Doggies, we'll earn the $25 if we ever find somebody for her long.
Oh, well, I doubt if we do, but I couldn't tell her that.
No. You say we got some letters already?
Yeah, got 3 of them here.
Well, good
I told you this thing would go.
Yeah.
That's $75 if we get them all 3 married off. Wait a minute, $150. We get $25 for the man and $25 for the woman.
Yeah, that's right. $50 a couple is what it is.
According to this handwriting, all 3 of these looks like they're from women folks.
Well?
See this pink envelope here?
Oh, yeah, that's bound to be a woman. Yeah.
From Broken Bow, Oklahoma.
Well?
Granny, let me open that one first.
Oh, this is fun, man.
Hope they all sent their pictures. Now, before we go any further, Abner, if I find somebody in here and marry him myself, I ain't going to pay the company no $25.
Are you still aiming on getting married?
Well, if I find the right one, I am.
Uh-huh.
I never stopped to think how nice it was to have a wife and a home and all that till I got to writing them advertisements for our matrimonial bureau.
No. Well, it's all right with me, Lum, for you not to pay nothing. It won't be a dead loss, for we'll get $25 from her anyway.
Yeah, sure. Well, I don't know neither, Abner. Might not look right for one of the owners in a matrimonial bureau charging his wife $25 to marry him.
Oh, well, no, I don't care. I might not give that much to see you get married.
Yeah, me too. Well, look at that.
Is that her?
I guess it is.
For the land's sake.
Granny, undoubtedly that ain't her. She looks like a haint.
What does she say about herself there?
Says I am a widow woman with 5 children and live on a farm near Broken Bow.
Well?
It has 40 acres of good, rich land and a mortgage of $150 against it.
Oh.
I am looking for a kind man with money. Well, all she's looking for is somebody to pay off that mortgage.
Yeah.
Anything I hate and despise is somebody that's just marrying for money.
Yeah, Lord, me, ain't nobody going to pay off no $150 mortgage to marry her. I'll tell her that. Might as well just tear that letter up right now, Lord. We can't use that.
Send the picture out. Can't never tell. I'd have bet even money that nobody'd have married Whistling Jim Williams, but they did.
Yeah.
Let's see who this is from.
Yeah, look at another name.
Roberta Brandenburg.
Yeah, that's sort of a purple envelope there.
Pretty name, Roberta. From Gilgore, Texas. Yeah.
Gilgore, Texas? Well, that's where they had all them oil wells, ain't it, down there?
That's right, ain't it? Well, this might be the very one I'm looking for right here. Yeah, I'd pay the company $25 to marry an oil well or 2.
I thought you said a while ago that you wouldn't marry for money.
Well, I wouldn't, but it sure ain't going to make me think none the less of her if she happens to own a few oil wells.
No, of course not. No.
Yeah, I wouldn't hold that against them. Granny, look at that. For the land's sake, let me see what it says about her.
Well, here, let me see the picture, Lon.
Oh, she's beautiful.
Well, she is a good looker, ain't she?
I am a manicurist.
Foreigner, huh?
Yeah. No, of course not. I have my own beauty saloon and would like to correspond with some handsome young gentleman about 28 years of age who is a expert barber. Dad blame it.
Well, or to give her name to Mose Moot. He's a barber.
Mose is unmarried. Besides, he ain't no expert barber and he ain't 28 years old.
So she's awful particular, ain't she?
Yeah, wish I knowed how to do barber work. Reckon I could learn it.
Well, you have to be 28-year-old, too, though.
That's right, ain't it? Granny, I could have fell in love with that picture, too. Ain't she the prettiest thing you ever seen? Just look at that.
Yes, sir, now she sure is. Well, sir, that's the first one of them Floridor hats I saw in years.
Granny, that is a Floridor, ain't it?
Yeah.
She wearing her hair in a pompadour.
Well,
I think about quit wearing it that way. She must be kind of old-fashioned in her dressing. Look at that leg of mutton sleeves in the dress there.
Yeah, she is awful behind the times.
That's what I like about her. More than likely a sweet, old-fashioned girl.
And running a saloon?
Beauty saloon, she said. Where women folks goes and gets all that artificial coloring and permanent waves and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And blame that barber business in there anyway.
What else does she say there?
Let's see. She says, I am 5 feet 11 inches tall, weigh 155 pounds, and...
Yeah, she ought to be good and stout.
And the enclosed picture was taken a few years ago, but it is the best I have, and I haven't changed much since then.
Oh.
No telling what she looks like now. Let me see this other. Get somebody that ain't so dead blame particular.
Well, you act like we're running this matrimonial bureau just to find you a wife, Lum. This is supposed to be a business here.
We'll send their pictures out. I just thought if I happened to see somebody that, from Fort Smith, I could get up there to see her. She must not send no picture.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Fell down there on the floor. I'll get it for you, Lum.
Oh. What does she look like?
Well, I do know. Well, look there. She's standing on her head.
Standing on... Oh, you got it upside down. Let me see that.
Oh, well, I thought that...
Granny, she's prettier than that other name. Look at that. Granny, she's beautiful. Black curly hair. Diaz Bendetti.
Huh?
That's her name. Got it printed right there on the picture. Diaz Bendetti, the girl wonder.
Well, that's a funny-looking outfit she's got on there, ain't it?
Granny, I believe I found her, Abner. She don't know it yet, but right there's a picture of the future Mrs. Lum Abner.
Well, read what he says about her, Lum.
Yes, sir. I don't have to read nothing about her, though. This is a case of love at first sight. I can tell that already. Granny, she's sweet-looking.
Oh, yes.
Kind of a girl that'd make a home for you.
Yeah.
Lonesome Heart Matrimonial Bureau, Pine Ridge, Arkansas. Dear sir, I read your advertisement and hasten to write that I am anxious to find a husband. Well, my granny sister, she's found one. I'll tell her that. I am an actress, and since my first husband met his untimely death, have retired from the stage. However, if I can find the right man, I would consider matrimony if he would consent to taking part in my act, so that I may resume my theatrical career.
Do what? What's that, Lum?
Go on the stage. Oh. Granny, that's just what I'd love to do, too. Just what I'm looking for. Well, it goes on and says, he need not have any previous experience in the theater. Well, good.
Yeah.
Now, she ain't so particular, them others.
No.
Need not have any previous experience in the theater because I do practically all the work in the act myself. All he would be required to do is stand against a target while I outline his entire body with knives. I am considered the world's outstanding knife thrower and also an expert pistol shot. Oh, my goodness. No wonder her first husband made an untimely death. Hand me a dipper of water there, Abner. Feared I'm going to have another one of my sinking.
Well, maybe this girl will find a husband, but we're pretty sure it won't be Lum. When a boy's marks begin sliding downward, when an ordinarily bright boy grows listless and inattentive in the classroom and has to be kept after school, the fault is very often not with the boy himself, but with his diet. He may, for instance, be drinking coffee at mealtimes. And as doctors, teachers, and athletic coaches will all tell you, no child should ever drink coffee. Because coffee contains caffeine, a stimulant that may affect the child's nerves, his digestion, and his sleep. Wise mothers solve this hot mealtime drink problem by giving their children Postum. For Postum contains no caffeine or any other stimulant that could possibly upset the systems of growing children. It's simply whole wheat and bran, roasted to a turn and delicately sweetened. And when made with hot milk, Postum is one of the most nourishing drinks a child can have. You'll find, too, that even children who don't ordinarily like milk like Postum. They like its cheering, tempting aroma and mellow, delicious flavor. So at meal times and even in between meals, give the children that delicious, wholesome cereal beverage, Hot Postum, made with milk. Lou Crosby speaking. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Amos and Andy Show. One of the great ambitions of Amos' life has been to see Andy working at a steady job. Amos has just run across an idea which he thinks will turn the trick. And right now he's in Andy's office telling him about it.
Now, what do you think of it, Andy?
Well, let me get the thing straight.
Well, in other words, a lot of people is missing. People getting lost. People is trying to trace kinfolk.
Yeah, and you think that I ought to open up a missing people's bureau?
Well, maybe you and the Kingfish together, and the customers pays you for finding lost people.
Yeah, but tell me something. How can anybody get lost? The streets has got signs on them. You can always get the name of the town off the railroad station.
Oh, son, I don't think you got the idea. Suppose that a man is in Pittsburgh and his kinfolks is here in Harlem, but they don't know that he's in Pittsburgh.
Well, why don't he write home?
Well, maybe he's broke, or... Well, say a man's in Baltimore.
Well, now, wait a minute. If the man's broke, how'd he get to Baltimore?
Look, Andy, I'm just trying to give you an example. I ain't talking about no real person.
You mean there ain't no man?
No, there ain't.
Well, we sure wasted a lot of time chasing them all over the country.
No, I tell you, Andy, this missing people's business could really be something. I got the whole idea from a magazine that I read. There are some big companies downtown in New York, like the Nationwide Missing Persons Bureau. They're doing the same thing and doing a great job of it. And you and the Kingfish could go in partners and make a lot of money on the thing.
Well, of course, we ain't going to be as good as them big companies downtown, because they got disconnections all over the country.
Well, that's where my idea come in. You see, the Mystic Knights of the Sea got branch lodges all over the country, too. And with the help of the brothers and the other lodges, why, you really got some connections there.
Yeah. Yeah, Amos, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I'm going over to see the Kingfish at the lodge right now. Well, that don't sound like a bad idea at all, Brother Anderson. No, we sure ought to be able to make a lot of money with it.
Oh, you're right about that. I'm definitely interested in the proposition.
Yeah, you see, Kingfish, this business is perfectly honest and above board.
Oh, that's all right. I'm still interested.
Yeah, well, what you think of it? We call it the Missing People's Bureau. And don't forget, we can find these people through the lodge members all over the country.
Put it there. We is in business, partner, dear. Let's set up the company right now.
Right.
Now, Andy, you as the vice president is going to have a lot of reporting duties.
Yeah, you're right. Wait a minute. Just a minute. Did you say vice president?
Yeah, that's right. You is the vice president. Oh, it's going to be great.
Now, excuse me for protruding, Kingfish. But has we got a president of our company?
Oh, certainly we got a president. After all, when you got a vice president, you got to have somebody that the vice president can be vice to. You can't do that.
Well, now, excuse me for protruding again, Kingfish. But who is our president?
The president is, me.
By what great landslide did you arrive in on? Why has you always got to be president, Kingfish?
Oh, listen, Andy, I hate to talk about this to you, but I'll explain it. Pull all your brains together in one lump now.
Yeah, I'm pushing. I got it. Wait.
Partner, dear, no man can live forever. Now, if something happened to me as president of our business would continue to prosper because a capable, two-fisted businessman as you, the vice president, would step into my shoes.
Yeah, I guess I would.
But on the other hand, Andy, if you was the president of our company and something happened to you, like getting shot, or falling in the river and drowning, or getting run over by a 5-ton truck, poor, ignorant, no good, incapable me would never be able to step into your shoes.
Yeah, I never thought of that.
Yeah, so it's up to you, Andy. If you want to be president, we'll make the switch right now.
No, the job sounds too dangerous to me.
Well, then let's get going. Now, the first thing we want to do is to call up Gwendell over at the newspaper, put an ad in the Harlem paper, letting the people know that we is running a missing persons bureau. Well, fellas, I see the ad in the paper yesterday. Y'all started business, huh?
Yeah, just waiting for customers.
Yeah, just waiting for somebody to lose somebody, Amos.
Yeah, we is all organized already. The Kingfish is president and I is the vice president.
Oh, you only the vice president, huh?
Yeah, well, that's just till the Kingfish get hit by a 5-ton truck.
You see, Amos, I is handling the dangerous part.
Yeah, well, I don't know what you mean, but I guess it's all right. I think if you fellas work hard at this thing, you can really make a success out of this.
Well, we're going ahead full speed.
Well, good luck to you, and I'll see you tomorrow, fella. So long.
So long, Amos.
So long, Amos. You know, Andy, that's a pretty good idea Amos got for us, this Missing People's Bureau. We ought to do something for Amos.
Yeah, well, if he ever loses anybody, why, we'll find him and give Amos 10% discount.
We really organized good here, Andy. And I even got 3 dozen beautiful handkerchiefs, too. Oh, we is all set here.
Handkerchiefs? What is they for?
Oh, well, when somebody come in here and start talking about their lost relative, it's only natural that they're going to start crying. And we want them to know that in time of their sorrow, we thinks of everything.
Yeah, and you're going to give them a handkerchief?
Yeah, the wholesale price is 25 cents each. That's what we're going to do there. Yeah. A subsidiary thing we got there.
Yeah. You is really thinking of everything, ain't you?
Oh, I tell you, this is going to be great. You know that?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Now, look here. If this is a customer, let me handle the thing. Now, you just keep quiet. Come in. Come in.
How do you do? Is this the Missing People's Bureau?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Yeah, won't you sit down on that box, madam? These chairs that we are sitting in is the only 2 we got. Our furniture is out being stuffed over.
Thank you.
Plead your case, madam.
Well, my name is Mrs. William Selby. I'm interested in locating an aunt of mine that I have not seen in 10 years.
And not yet. Put them handkerchiefs back. Go ahead, Miss Selby.
Well, it so happens that this aunt of mine, her name is Bertha Brand. She took care of me all during my childhood.
She did, huh?
And she nursed me through 2 serious illnesses. She supported me. In fact, she ruined her own life taking care of me.
Must have been a wonderful woman.
Well, anyway, when I got married, she left. And I've been out of touch with her for the past 10 years. But now my husband's doing fine. I'm in a position to give her the care and help that I know she needs very much in her old age.
Yeah, that's a wonderful thing you was doing, Miss Selby.
You can see why I want to find this poor old helpless lady.
Is you got any idea where she is at?
Well, no. That's why I've come to you. I've got to find her. I just have a feeling that she's all alone somewhere and needs me.
Do you really think that she's all alone?
Yes, I do.
And,
yeah, Kingfish.
Pass me one of them handkerchiefs, will you, please?
To tell you the truth, Kingfish, I was regusted with you.
Well, now, don't worry about it, Andy. We'll get business.
Listen, we ain't going to get no place if every time a customer says something sad, you're going to bust out crying.
Oh, well, Brother Andy, can I help it if I was the senseless type?
Oh. Listen, Kingfish. Listen here, you got to get tough in this business.
Yeah.
I don't blame the woman for walking out after seeing the president break down. Listen, if we're going to get anywhere, you got to keep a lip up a stiff.
I promise you, partner dear, I'll hold my motion.
Yeah, well, it ain't just that we lose a customer, but it's the cash expense to the cost us.
What do you mean?
Well, you done sniffled up 2 of our brand new handkerchiefs.
Well, I tell you, Andy.
Wait a minute. Come in.
Well, Brother Crawford and his wife.
How do you do? Come on in here, John.
But, dear, can't we talk this over before we go ahead?
John.
Yes, dear.
Well, what brings you all here?
Yeah, what can we do for you?
My wife.
John. I will take care of this. Yes, now, boys. Last night, Amos told me that you were running a Missing People's Bureau, and we want to find my dear brother. We haven't seen him for a long time. He's my own flesh and blood, and I don't know where the poor boy is.
Gee, I hope you find this fellow all right.
Kingfish, pull yourself together, will you?
But, dear, I am sure that your brother is happy wherever he is.
Well, Mrs. Crawford, you has done come to the right place. We'll get your brother. Our slogan is, if they is above the ground, we'll find them.
You see, boys, I have been telling my dear wife here that trying to find her brother is a waste of time and money. He is the Rolling Stone type and always has been.
Well, that's our business, Brother Crawford. Keep these stones from rolling.
On this piece of paper is his full name, complete description, and everything. And I want to bring him back to live with us.
Just a minute, though, dear. Living with us. Now, we don't want to inconvenience your brother. Maybe the boy would rather continue being a bum.
John? You forget that I'm a carver.
Yeah, well, we'll find them.
But, dear, what is the use of putting your brother through all of the trouble of coming back and cutting down my clothes to fit him and everything?
Just a minute, John.
What is the fact?
Well, 4 years ago, he was in Oklahoma. Then we heard he was in Texas. And the last word we heard, he was in Michigan.
Heading south, huh? Yeah.
Personally, dear, I would love to have your brother Louis live with us, but would it be right to have Louis here and his heart in Michigan?
Shut up, John. I want him found.
Yes, dear.
Now, boys, John got a nice Christmas bonus, and he will take care of the finance.
Oh, that will be $10.
Yeah, if he can be found, we'll find him.
John, give the boys $10.
Yes, dear, yes.
Amos assures me that you boys are doing everything you can to make a success of this business. And I'm depending on you to find my brother Louis.
Here you are, boys. Here is $10.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll take it.
Come, John. And as soon as you hear, be sure to let me know.
Oh, we will.
Yeah, so long. Listen, Kingfish, now I know that you is the president, but this company has got two treasures. Give me $5.
The reason I have come back here to your office alone is a matter of very confidential nature.
Yeah, what is it, Brother Crawford?
Yeah, what's the matter?
Well, first of all, I want to tell you that my wife is very unhappy. And it's about this brother-in-law of mine.
Well, don't get impatient. We're going to find your brother-in-law.
That's exactly what I'm afraid of. My brother-in-law, Louis, is a bum. He will lay around my house, do nothing, wear my clothes, eat like a horse, and almost drive me crazy.
Yeah, that's standard equipment for brother-in-laws.
In other words, well, boys, this is the first time that I have ever crossed my wife. And for goodness sakes, don't tell her. But I am willing to pay you through the nose.
What you mean?
I will pay you boys $25 if you do not find my brother-in-law, Louis.
Brother Crawford, you has done made a deal.
Yeah, the vice president seconds the motion. Yes.
My wife says that the search must go on for 30 days. Now, boys, if you can arrange not to find him by then, I will give you $25.
You can count on us, Brother Crawford. You ain't got nothing to worry about.
Thank you very much, and goodbye.
So long. You know something, Andy?
What's that, Kingfish?
We might make more money not finding people.
The time is a week later. The boys are still in the missing people's business and thus far have been very successful in not finding Mr. Crawford's brother-in-law.
So everything going along all right, huh, Andy?
Oh, yeah, we is really rolling.
You know, Andy, like I told you before, if you get stuck on any of these cases you get, that big company downtown called the Nationwide Missing Persons Bureau can help you. They find an awful lot of people.
Yeah, well, we'll never need them, I don't think. Coast, I got a lot of...
Well, hello there, boys. I'm glad you're here, Andy. Glad you're here.
What you so excited about, Kingfish?
Andy, I think we're going to have a little trouble on the Crawford case. Yeah? Brother Crawford just told me that his wife is getting jumpy about us not finding a brother, and she's going to call up here and see why we ain't getting no action for her.
Well, I don't know why she's complaining. You was looking for a brother, ain't you?
Oh, sure. We've been looking for him all over, but he ain't there.
Yeah, you see, Amos,
Well, I'll be running along now, fellas. See you later.
Yeah, okay, Amos, okay.
I'll answer the phone. Missing People's Bureau, President speaking.
Kingfish
is Mrs. John Crawford.
Oh, yes, Miss Crawford.
A whole week has passed, and I've heard nothing from you about my brother Louis.
Oh, we is right after him, though, Miss Crawford. We gonna find him.
Yes, but how long are you going to take? You haven't even put an ad in any of the Harlem papers asking for information about it.
Yeah, well, we was just getting ready to put an ad in the newspaper now.
Well, I want to see that ad.
Yeah, well, you see, ain't no sense in putting it in the Harlem paper, because if he was in Harlem, you would have seen him on the street. We want to put the ad in a big paper.
Well, I want to see it when you do.
Yeah, well, we'll clip it and bring it to you.
All right. Goodbye.
And Miss Crawford wants action. We gotta put the ad in the paper.
Yeah, but don't forget our deal with her husband. If we put an ad in the paper, why, Louis is liable to see it and show up, and we'll lose the $25 that Brother Crawford promised us.
Yeah, well, we gotta put an ad in the paper about that loaf-hander. And I know just the paper to put it in.
Which one is that?
The Wall Street Journal.
Louis.
Yes, Mr. Burns?
By the way, did you take those stock sheets over to the cashier?
Yes, I gave them to him.
Oh, fine. Now, Mr. Marshall wants you to take these bonds over to 64 Wall Street. It's a rush.
I'll get them right over there.
Oh, and one more thing. This ad in today's Wall Street Journal. Could this by any chance be you?
What does that say?
Right here.
Say, that do sound like it mean me, don't it?
Yeah.
Louis Carlton. Yeah. That's the same way I spell my name, too.
Might be something important.
Yeah. Anybody knowing the whereabouts of Louis Carlton, please communicate with the Stevens Brown Missing Peoples Bureau, 135th Street. Please keep this ad confidential. Say, Mr. Burns, after I deliver these bonds, I better run on up there and see what this is all about.
Hey, Kingfish, look, some fella coming in here. Look like a customer.
Yeah, it do look like that, don't it? Look like the type of fella that might be missing somebody. Come in, sir, come in.
Thank you.
What can we do for you, mister?
Well, you had an ad in the Wall Street Journal that you wanted some information about the whereabouts of Louis Carlton.
Oh, yeah, well, that ad don't mean nothing. Here, have a cigar. Just forget about it.
Yeah, just ignore the whole thing. It's just one of them cases where we're looking for somebody, and on top of that, why, we ain't looking for them.
Yeah, well, see you again sometime, buddy.
Well, I happen to be Louis Carlton.
Yeah, well, if you... wait a minute, you can't do that to us.
What do you mean, boys?
You is Louis Carlton?
Yes, that's my name.
Wait a minute now. Let's talk this thing over quietly. And you see the picklement we're getting in here?
Yeah. Well, you see, Mr. Carlton, sit on that box over there, will you?
Yeah,
I want to talk to my partner here.
Yeah, but Andy, we got two deals. And one is 10 to do it, and one is 25 not to do it.
I know that, the same as you do.
And to do it looks like it's ahead of the not to do it.
Wait a minute. What is your name again?
Louis Carlton.
Still the same.
Andy, we got to get him out of town.
Sure is.
Miss Carlton, step up to our desk here. Let me explain to you how these mistakes is made.
Yeah, explain to him how we run our business.
That's what I'm going to do. You see, our stenographer makes a lot of mistakes, and I can't figure out why the head stenographer of our Missing Peoples Bureau is put your name in the ad.
Well, why didn't you ask her?
She ain't here. We don't know where she is. She's missing.
Yeah, you see, she used to work in the back of the office right behind that petition there. We went back there to look for her yesterday, and she was gone.
So, you see, Louis, this whole thing has done been a mistake.
Yeah, and the best thing for you to do is to forget all about it. Tell me, if you ever think about traveling?
Not me. I've already been where I was going.
Yeah, but for a change, you ought to get away from the humdrum resistance of the city life, you know. Get out with the trees and the brooks and the babbling birds and that stuff, you know. get away from everything.
Yeah, special us.
I tell you, I don't want to go away. I'm happy right where I is.
Yeah, but there must be a lot of places you ain't seen. The Grand Canyon, for instance.
Listen, of all things, I don't want to go peeping down no Grand Canyon. Why, a man could fall into a place like that and get lost.
Yeah. Now we're getting somewhere.
That ain't for me. That ain't for me, brother.
Look, then, why don't you go out to California? Yeah, that's it, California. Beautiful golden California, where the sun meets the moon, and the moon meets the movie stars, and everybody else meets everybody else. It's wonderful out there.
Yeah, we'll take you right down to Depot now.
Yeah, and don't forget to drop us a postcard sometime.
Now, wait a minute. I ain't going no place.
Yeah.
Oh, what's the matter?
Look coming across the street.
Oh, me. The Missing People's Bureau is having trouble right now.
Yeah, that's all your fault, Kingfish. There she comes.
I just happened to be passing here. John is on his way over now. Louis, my brother.
Sister, what is you doing in here?
Oh, you dear boy, I'm so glad to see you. And Andy, Kingfish, you've done a fine job. Oh, Louis, I'm so happy we found you. Where have you been?
I've been living over in Brooklyn. Gee, I'm glad to see you, sister. So you was the one that was looking for me, huh?
Yes, and this is wonderful to have you back. Kingfish, you and Andy have done a good job.
Yeah, I'll say we is.
Louis, to think that after all these years I found you. Oh, look. Here comes John across the street. He'll be surprised to see you, Louis.
Yeah, this is really a surprise party.
Wait a minute. I've got an idea. Louis, let's you and me hide in the back office behind that petition. Then we can jump out and John all over, and he'll really be surprised.
Wait a minute, though, Miss Crawford. Don't you see we
Come
can't...
on, Louis. We'll leave the door open so we can hear what they're saying. Come on, John.
Kingfish.
Yeah, I know. Come in, Brother Crawford. How's everything going at the office with you?
Yeah.
Very good, boys, very good. But what I wanted to check with you was...
Brother, listen, Brother Crawford, nice weather we haven't made it.
I am not interested in the weather. I want to talk to you about that big bum brother-in-law.
Yeah, let's everybody start singing here.
Oh, I play in the Act Bay.
Just a minute, fellas. I am a very busy man. Now, boys, we have made a secret agreement. And I just want to make sure that you don't double-cross me and find that no good brother-in-law of mine.
No.
You remember that when I promised you $25 not to find my brother-in-law, you said you would not find him. Now, Kingfish, will you please stop pinching me?
Well, I just trying to get some dirt off your coat there.
Come on. Let's all get out of here, Brother Crawford.
My wife is always talking about her being a Carlton. And just between the three of us, none of the Carltons is anything to brag about.
Oh, me.
John Crawford, what does all this mean?
Why, dear, Louis.
I heard every word, and I'll straighten this mess out in 1 minute.
Just a second. Now, what is you going to do, Miss Crawford?
Kingfish, you and Andy are running a crooked business, and I'm going to turn you both over to the police. Hand me that telephone.
Come on, Andy. Let's get out of here.
Coming right with you, Kingfish.
And as for you, John Crawford...
just a minute, Kingfish. Andy, wait just a minute.
How many places did you go to, Lightning? I's done gone all over. So was I. Well, I guess I'll call up. I see Mrs. Crawford's brother sleeping in the parlor at Brother Crawford's house. Oh, you did, huh?
Hello?
Is this the Nationwide Missing Persons Bureau?
Yes?
I want to report 2 missing people that has been gone for several days. George Stevens and Andrew Brown. You better make it 3, Miss Amos. Mrs. Crawford can't find her husband either.
be sure to join us again next Friday night at this same time for another Amos and Andy show. Our program is broadcast to our armed forces everywhere. Until next Friday, then, this is Harlow Wilcox speaking for all of us, bidding all of you a pleasant good night.
Hello, my friends, the Heinz Honey and Almond Cream Program. Starring George Burns and Gracie Allen with Frank Parker, Ray Noble and his orchestra, and Truman Bradley speaking. And now for those two friendly hands, George Burns and Heinz Honey, Gracie Allen.
Thank you very much.
Hello.
Hello, Gracie. Coming down to the studio tonight, I saw a big banner saying vote for Gracie.
Yeah, I know.
All over town, I see billboards saying put Gracie in the White House.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the newsreels. It's in the papers. Signs right here on the stage saying send Gracie to Washington. What does this mean?
Well, George, I'll let you in on a secret. I'm running for president.
You're running for president?
Yes.
Gracie, how long has this been going on?
For 450 years. George Washington started it.
Gracie, why are you running for president?
Well, because that's the only way you can get to the White House. You can't just walk in and sit down.
The idea is preposterous.
And not only that, but it pays good money.
Look, you don't stand a chance. Presidents are born.
Well, what do you think I was, hatched?
There's nobody who'd be any happier about your success than I'd be. But in the entire history of the United States, there's never been a woman president.
Oh, yeah, isn't that exciting? I'll be the first one.
What I tell you...
Hello, George. Hello, Gracie.
Hello, Frank.
I tell you haven't got a Chinaman's chance.
Well, I don't know about that. Confucius say, lady who has eye on presidential chair pretty soon gets seat on it.
And George Burns say, girl who talked nutty Wednesday make good nut Sunday.
Oh, that's good.
How do you like that joke, Frank?
Egyptian monument.
Egyptian monument?
Sphinx.
It does, huh? Gracie, have you any idea what a person has to be before they can become president?
Sure, elected.
The whole thing is absurd.
Oh, stop worrying, George. I may not even be elected until next November.
Well, that's a load off my mind.
I might not even be in the White House before 1941.
I say. In other words, you're as good as in.
I'm better than in.
What do you mean you're better than in?
Well, if I was in now, I'd have to be getting out next January.
You, the President of the United States.
And Mexico.
And Mexico?
Well, sure. It's just across the border from California, so it'll be easy for them to vote for me.
What about Canada?
It'll be a landslide.
You know, this may be a shock to you, but there are some places that don't belong to the United States.
So what? How many votes are there in Glendale anyway?
For president, it takes a person with tremendous stamina. A person with unusual ability and sound judgment. A mental genius.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks. The president has to have courage and show plenty of backbone.
Show plenty of backbone? Well, wait till you see my new evening dress.
Still doesn't make you a leader of men. You have to have plenty of followers.
Well, wait till you see my new evening dress.
Oh, quiet. The president must have determination. He must let people see what he's made of.
Well, wait till you
see my new evening dress. I know.
Say, Gracie, when you're elected president, you ought to change the income tax laws so all stars are allowed the same deductions.
Frank, in this country, everybody's allowed the same deductions.
Oh, yeah? Look what Sally Rand is allowed to take off each year.
How do I get mixed up in these things?
Oh, Frank's helping me in my campaign.
Then it'll be a tremendous success.
Sure. You see, every day I have to go out and kiss a lot of babies. And Frank goes along with me to kiss the mothers.
He does, huh?
Yes.
Oh, yes, boy, and I'm a terrific speaker. Why, I addressed 500 mothers this afternoon.
What did you say to them?
Get in line there, kiddies. Get in line there.
Kiddies?
Yeah, he did.
Now, listen to me, Gracie. This thing has got to stop before it goes too far.
Say, George, didn't you know that Gracie was running for president?
Sure, I knew it. But I didn't think she was serious.
Why, certainly she's serious. So are Dewey and Garner.
Yeah, but Dewey and Garner have political affiliations.
Well, maybe that's because they weren't vaccinated.
You don't understand. Have you got a Republican or a Democratic machine in back of you?
No, that's a bustle.
A bustle? Well, I knew it looks good. Glad I asked.
Isn't it exciting, George?
Isn't what exciting?
Well, if Gracie gets in, it'll be the first time that a woman president has ever been elected for a third term.
A third term?
Oh, yes. Oh, she's done a splendid job. I mean, you show me any other country where you can get a double-decker ice cream cone for a nickel.
Ray, I've got a surprise for you. Gracie hasn't done her first and second term yet. You've got her mixed up with Roosevelt.
Oh, no, I haven't. Roosevelt lives in the White House in Washington, and Gracie lives in the Yellow House in Beverly Hills. I know.
Ray, sometime I'm going to have you psychoanalyzed.
Oh, thanks just the same, George. I've already taken out my first papers.
Well, welcome to our country. That's the silliest thing I ever heard of.
Miss Allen, Heine's thinking the photographer's ready now to take those campaign pictures.
Oh, well, now don't go away, boys. I'll be right back.
Now, listen to me, fellas.
Stop worrying, George. Gracie's promised to give us all swell government jobs.
Government jobs?
Sure.
Are you sap enough to fall for that, Truman?
Sap? Just a minute, George. That's no way to speak to a Supreme Court justice.
Supreme Court justice? Truman, do you actually believe?
Just think, George. I'll be the only ambassador to Great Britain who ever played a violin.
Gracie told you that she would make you ambassador to Great Britain, huh?
Yes. Oh, I had my choice of that or Secretary of the Navy.
I see. But you didn't want to be Secretary of the Navy.
No, I look so silly in a sailor suit.
This whole thing is ridiculous. What did she promise to make you, Frank? Secretary of the Treasury?
Well, she wanted to, George, but I'm too smart to tumble for anything like that.
Well, I'm glad there's somebody left on this program with some sense.
I'm the new Postmaster General.
Postmaster General?
Sure, on account of my experience.
What experience have you had?
Want to play post office?
Oh, go away. Go away. Silly man.
Boys, where do you see the picture I had taken?
I'm not interested in any picture. We're here to do a broadcast.
Well, you know, the Democrats have a donkey and the Republicans have an elephant.
What have you got, a squirrel?
Oh, I wish I'd thought of that. But I posed with a kangaroo.
A kangaroo?
Well, it'll make a wonderful campaign picture.
I'll bet.
It was a mama kangaroo, and the little baby kangaroo was sticking his head out of the pouch. And it's
baby kangaroo sticking his head out of the pouch?
Yes, and it's going to be my election slogan.
What slogan?
It's in the bag.
It is, huh? Now, woman, that.
Has any man ever said to you, darling, I love you forever? He says forever, but in your secret heart you know he means forever as long as you keep yourself attractive. So by all means, help your hands keep their smooth loveliness. Use Heinz Honey and Almond Cream day in and day out. Every single ingredient in Heinz lotion is good for rough or tender skin, whether it's on your face, your hands, or your body. This fine, fragrant cream helps prevent chapping and roughness, and that awful weathered dryness that makes your skin look so drawn and old. Smooth Heinz lotion all over your red hands and wrists. Notice how even one application makes your chapped hands feel softer, look more appealing. Use Heinz as a powder base, too. See how evenly it holds the powder, no caking at all. And as a body rub, Heinz is our honey. It's so extra creamy, extra softening, that every drop brings real soothing comfort to tender skin. Heinz Honey and Almond Cream contains 2 vitamins, 2 A and D. You can count on Heinz, Hinds, for softer, smoother, lovelier skin on hands, face, and body. Now, here is Frank Parker.
Thanks, Drew. For my song tonight, I've chosen Yours Is My Heart Alone by Franz Lehar.
Yours is my heart alone, and without you, life holds no charm. Yours, every thought I own, a love the theme of every dream. All that makes life seem worthwhile dwells in your eyes and the spell of your smile. There is no song that's so sweet to me as your voice whispering, I love you, dear. When far away or near you, in dreams I see and hear you, and yielding to your fascination, I kneel to you in adoration, dear. You alone. I live or die for you, my adored vision bright. Yours is my heart alone, and without you, life has no charm. Yours, every thought I own, sun of the theme of every dream. What makes life seem worth the ride dwells in your eyes and the sun of your smile. There is no song half so sweet to me as your voice whispering, I love you, my
Bravo, bravo, Frank. That was swell.
Ah, you're just saying that because I'm the Postmaster General.
Oh, stop.
Yes, you are.
Good man.
Frank, I just sent a telegram to my campaign chairman in the Middle West.
Oh, good.
He told me we couldn't get any support from the Farm Bills.
So what?
So I told him to wear suspenders.
What happens if the county seat has two pairs of pants?
Oh, George, you're just trying to say that to make me say silly things so people will laugh at me.
That's bad, huh?
Say, Gracie, what's going to be the name of your party?
Well, Truman, you've heard of the Democratic Party and the Republican Party?
Yes.
Well, mine's going to be the Surprise Party.
The what?
The Surprise Party. Surprise. S-U-R-P-R-I-S-E.
Yeah, S for screwy, U for useless.
Yeah, and R for reading, writing, and arithmetic.
P for pinhead.
Yeah, and R for oysters are in season. And I, an I for an eye.
A tooth for tooth.
And S for some fun, and E for pencil.
E for pencils?
Ever shop?
Well, that old pencil on how you look at it.
Say, the surprise party's a swell name, I think. How'd you happen to call it that, Gracie?
Well, my daddy is a Democrat, and my mother is a Republican. And when I was born, I was a surprise.
So was the panic of 1907.
Gracie?
Yes, Bubbles?
You know those temporary campaign headquarters we opened on Broadway this morning?
Yes.
Well, I'm afraid we'll have to move them.
Why?
There's a streetcar coming.
Oh.
Gracie, just tell the streetcar, believe it or not, you're waiting to be president.
Oh, Gracie, I'm working on your campaign song.
You've got a campaign song?
Oh, yes. It starts like this. I'll be down to get you with the taxpayers' money. Better be ready about 8:30.
Oh, dearie, don't be late. Let's sing a song. What do you say?
Oh, by the way, Gracie, you know those pictures in Life magazine of that Republican candidate catching that big mackerel at Miami?
Yes?
Well, I just found out that he's just caught it again in Lake Michigan.
Ray, the whole thing was done to get votes.
No, really. What's the fish running for?
It's because it doesn't want to get caught.
Miss Allen, did you see this morning's paper?
No, what was in it?
My lunch.
Your lunch?
Judge, this is my publicity man, Gene.
How do? Well, I'll run along now, but don't forget, Miss Allen, you're jumping out of that plane in the morning.
You're jumping out of a plane in the morning?
Only 10,000 feet. It's just to attract attention.
You're liable to get killed.
Well, sure, but look at all the publicity I'll get.
Gracie, will you stop this?
Miss Allen, I'm a sign painter. Are the slogans ready for your campaign signs?
Oh, well, I'll make up a few right now. Bubbles, get a pencil.
Okay.
Number 1. Confucius says, Gracie Allen for prez.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I've got it. Number 2. Gracie Allen for alderman.
Gracie Allen for alderman?
Yeah, and aldermen for Gracie Allen.
Hey, that's wonderful.
Yes, and baking powder for burns.
Number 3.
Oh, well, that's great.
Yes, thanks. Number 3, We'll make one sign with nothing on it.
A sign with nothing on it?
Sure, to get the nudist vote.
Oh, that's wonderful. Gracie, why don't you have a doctor examine your head, and if he finds anything, have somebody examine the doctor.
Well, that would be a good idea for me, too.
Yes, do that.
You know, I think this will make an awfully jolly sign, Gracie. If you're 21, vote for Gracie Allen. If you're not 21, have your mother do it for you. If your mother isn't 21, ask your father. If your father isn't 21, then don't bother reading this sign.
Oh, I like that. That's good.
It's wonderful. Sign painter, get out of here with that's wonderful.
All right, Mr. Boynes, but you'll hear from me when I'm Attorney General.
At least, Gracie, if you are elected, I'll get rid of you for 4 years.
12 years.
12 years?
For sure, I'm not superstitious about third terms.
You're not, huh? Do you people realize that right now our sponsor's probably listening?
Oh, I say, Bubbles, I happened to see a drawing of you on the Republican poster. Quite flattering, too. Who drew that?
Mr. Noble, that was an elephant.
It's amazing. What will they teach him to do next?
Cheerio.
Oh, cheerio.
Yeah. You know, Gracie, I've been worrying about the speeches you're going to make at your rallies.
Have you rallies?
Yes, at your rally. Well, wait till you hear the speeches, Crew, and then you'll have something to worry about.
Well, I'm serious, George. You see, Gracie, a presidential candidate has to shake hands with millions of people.
As if we don't know what's coming.
Why, in a single campaign, the average candidate shakes enough hands to milk all the cows in the country.
Is that so?
Mm-hmm.
And what do they do with all the milk?
They use it to whitewash their opponents.
Say, George, is it true that the whitewash is
That's
more
enough,
than the
Gracie. You don't
backwash?
even have to finish it. Just stay where you
I want
are.
to know.
So at your rallies, Gracie, I can protect you. You see, before each meeting, I can tell the voters how Heinz Honey and Almond Cream will make their hands soft and make their hands white and make their hands smooth.
Well, what if they've only got 2 hands?
Then they can use a small bottle.
Oh.
See what I mean? Small size.
Yes.
Why, if they'll only use a 25-cent bottle while you're speaking, Gracie, their hands will be thrilling to touch and good till the last drop.
Truman, you're thinking of Maxwell House coffee.
Oh, pardon me.
Oh, hello, Jim.
Hello, Miss Allen. Well, they said I couldn't do it. Well, I couldn't get anywhere here in Los Angeles, so I flew right to Sacramento. I couldn't get to first base there. So without food or sleep, I went on to Jefferson City, Missouri. From there to Springfield, Illinois. On into Albany, New York City, and then to Washington, D.C., and I clicked.
Nice work.
Here it is.
What is that?
Horns.
Horns?
I've got to give them out at my convention.
Well, I give up.
These are $3 a dozen, Miss Allen, and they're a steal.
Okay, steal me a dozen.
Now, here's a horn that the Republicans and Democrats are using. Of course, this is very hard to blow.
Oh, well, they have more wind than we have.
Yeah, but not between the ears. And what is this convention?
For the Chamber of Commerce.
Well, where are you going to hold it?
By the handle.
Come on, come on.
want to take a letter.
All right. Now, is the letter important, or can I leave my gloves on?
Well, it's
Gracie, you better talk quietly. She uses a soft pencil.
Oh. Letter. Frank, what's today's date?
Elsie, Edna couldn't make it.
February 28th.
All right, I'm ready.
Oh, good. To all other presidential candidates, semicolon, United States of America, period, gentlemen, question mark.
Gentlemen, question mark.
I've got it.
Well, boys, the jig is up.
Well, it's a nice opening.
Election day will be in November this year. Turkeys will cost you 38 cents a pound. Cranberries will be 50 cents a bucket. Plum puddings will be $2 each. But a good president won't cost you a nickel, so be sure and go out and vote for me.
You're asking the other presidential candidates to vote for you?
Well, sure, there's so many presidential candidates that if I only get half of them to vote for me, I'm bound to be elected.
I see what you mean.
Go ahead, continue.
This letter is being dictated by a lady, typewritten by a lady, so don't forget to take your hats off while you're reading it.
I've got it.
All right. Sign it, Gracie Allen, President of the United States, and mail it out right away.
Gracie, you're not president yet.
Well, I will be by the time this letter is delivered.
That's some letter.
And Bubbles, make 50,000 copies.
One for each candidate.
Yes.
I thought so, yes.
Bubbles, address the envelopes in girlish handwriting. Mark it personal and send it to their homes. I want their wives to read it, too.
50,000 copies. Well, it's a nice hunk of postage to throw away.
What do you mean, postage? I'll initial the corners of the envelopes, and they won't need stamps.
Frank, will you believe this? For a minute, I forgot that you were Postmaster General.
Well, that's life, I guess.
Yes, I guess
People
so. That's
forget,
life.
you know.
Miss Allen, the reporters are here.
Oh, well, send them in.
The reporters?
Uh-huh.
This way, gentlemen.
Miss Allen, I'm Harry Crocker of the Examiner.
I do.
Matt Weinstock, Daily News.
I
Casey
do.
Shaw, Los Angeles Times.
I do.
Gracie, why are you shaking hands with your left hand?
Well, I'm saving my right hand for when I'm president.
How do?
I do.
Miss Allen, my newspaper wants to know just what your platform is.
Well, it's knotty pine trimmed with oak and inlaid with California redwood.
That's to match your head.
Yes.
I thought so, yes.
Miss Allen, what would be the first thing you would do if you were elected?
I put my daddy in the Senate.
Your daddy doesn't know anything about the Senate.
Oh, yeah, he's been making speeches from the floor for years.
He's still on the floor, I'll bet.
That's my daddy.
That's the kid, yeah.
Miss Allen, my city editor wants to know what your opinion is on capitalism versus the little man.
Oh, I know. I never go to wrestling matches.
Are you in favor of monopolies?
Oh, well, I don't play Monopoly. I like mahjong better.
Yes. What do you think of the neutrality bill?
Well, if we owe it, let's pay it.
Gracie, why don't you call this all? You know nothing about it. You haven't said one thing that's right.
Well, I'd rather be president than right.
Boys, there's no use trying to interview her.
Mr. Burns, will you stop balling her up?
I'm balling her up?
Yes,
quiet.
Miss Allen, all the other candidates are talking on how to bring back prosperity. Now, what's your point?
She doesn't even know what prosperity is.
I do, too. Prosperity is when business is good enough so that you can buy the things on credit that you can't afford anyway, and that way you can save enough money to pay cash for new things after they've taken back the things you've got on credit.
How are you doing, boys?
Miss Allen, would you recognize Russia?
Well, that's hard to say. You see, I meet so many people.
I don't have to meet them all on this program, do you?
What do you think of the British blockade?
Oh, we'll get by.
We will, Alan.
Look, I say, George, I don't mind being referred to as British, but I do object to being called a blockade.
Boys, this is Ray Noble.
Hello.
I do.
He looks like a pipe cleaner I once threw away.
Well, now, that's possible. Where did you throw me?
Cheerio.
Oh, cheerio.
Cheerio.
Miss Allen, what do you think of our national debt?
Well, we ought to be proud of it. It's the biggest in the world.
Boys, either go ahead or just go so that we can do our broadcast.
Quiet.
Quiet?
Yeah,
Quiet. Now, Miss Allen, how would you keep our gold reserve from shrinking?
Well, I'd wash it in luck.
Truman, maybe you can get these guys out.
Well, I'll try, George. Say, boys, I've got a bottle in my overcoat.
A bottle?
Scotch or rye?
High and sunny almond cream.
Thanks, Truman.
You're too late, Truman. I gave that bottle to my girl. She's got a couple of chaps I'm trying to get rid of.
Thanks, Frank.
Boys, this is Frank Parker, the Postmaster General.
Well, he ought to be swell. He's got a face like an old-style 1-cent stamp.
It's a nice TL for you, Pinky.
Thanks.
Now, Miss Allen, just a few more questions.
Boys,
Is there anything
boys,
you can actually...
Boys, are you through?
Not yet, Mr. Burns, but don't feel that you have to stick around on our account.
Now, this is the end. I'm going to call up the sponsor and explain the whole thing to him. I'm not going to lose my job.
Come on, boys, let's finish the interview.
Operator, get me long distance.
Hold the line.
Miss Allen, is there anything...
Now, please, boys, Mr. Burns is calling the sponsor.
Hey, this Noble guy looks very familiar. Mr. Noble, didn't I once see you in Yonkers?
I don't think so. I haven't worn a pair of Yonkers in years.
Long distance.
Get me Mr. Marvin of the Heinz Honey and Almond Cream Company, New York.
Hold the line.
Miss Allen, is there anything that you can actually promise the voters?
Oh, sure. I can promise voters that if I can't find a way to reduce the high cost of living, then we'll just have to do without it.
Here's your party.
Hello, Mr. Marvin.
Yes?
This is George Burns speaking.
Oh, yes. How are you?
Well, I just want to call you up and tell you that I have nothing to do with Gracie's running for president. I've been trying to do a broadcast, and all she's been doing is giving away political jobs.
Well, that's the president's privilege, and believe me...
Quiet. Let me get through talking. It's ridiculous, Mr. Marvin, making an orchestra leader an ambassador, making a tenor a postmaster general, and making an announcer a Supreme Court justice. It's not my doings, and I just want to tell you that I'm not going to stand for it.
Just a minute, Mr. Burns. Don't raise your voice to the Secretary of State.
Secretary of State? And here's a bit of handy advice.
Children love playing in the snow. But do you know how that cold wind and freezing slush can chafe their hands and knees? They come indoors with cheeks as red as apples, looking so healthy and lovable. But the first thing you know, their tender skin feels so uncomfortable. And their little hands are so red and chapped, you feel positively sorry for them. Now, it's easy to help guard against chapping in the first place. Train your youngsters to cream their hands and faces with Heinz before going out in the cold. Heinz Honey and Almond Cream is extra creamy, extra softening. Helps keep skin smooth and comfortable. Put a bottle of Heinz in the coat closet, ready to smooth on hands and faces and knees. Children love Heinz. It's so nice and fragrant, not sticky either. Just feels so grand and soothing. You can get Heinz Honey and Almond Cream at Turley Goods counters in 10, 25, 50-cent sizes, or the big economy dollar size for family use.
And now Gracie will sing Chula Chihuahua. Sing it.
Agua caliente, I'll never forget. Agua caliente, there is where I bought a pet. A little toy, oh boy, my chihuahua, he is my pride and joy. How I love the promenade, the boulevard, walking my chihuahua. People stop and stare most everywhere when I'm walking my chihuahua. All the dogs are jealous because the fellas keep petting my chihuahua. Though he isn't much protection, that's why men show their affection for me. See, he goes woof, woof, woof.
Chula, chula.
Bow, bow, wow.
Bonita, bonita.
Woof, woof, woof.
Figurita, figurita.
In Mexico, it's I love you. Meet the mother, I met my secret love, walking my chihuahua. If you're lonely, there is only one thing to do. Get a chihuahua. Walk this way. Hip, hip, hooray. Chula, chihuahua. Chihuahua, wah, 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 wah. Chula, chihuahua. See, see. Come and see the company that comes to see me and my chihuahua. Tea time is the time they come to tea time with me and my chihuahua. Dogs of noble pedigree are jealous of me and my chihuahua. But I prefer him to a Scotty cause he's just a little naughty. I'm glad he's not a terrier because he makes life merrier. He's better than a setter cause he's such a great go-getter. He's smarter than a poodle. He knows how to use his noodle. I'm my wonderful chihuahua.
Now you can enjoy both Heinz lotion in bottles and Heinz hand cream in jars. Those smart red and white jars contain the fluffiest, creamiest hand cream Heinz could make. Like the famous Heinz lotion, the new Heinz hand cream is quick softening for chapped hands. It comes in two sizes, 10 cents and 39 cents a jar.
Thanks, Truman. Well, Gracie, say goodnight.
No, wait. First, I want to thank Bill Coram for his lovely wire endorsing my campaign.
Well, good. Now say goodnight.
Well, good night. I'll see you in the White House.
Good night.
Next Wednesday at this same time over these same stations, George and Gracie and all the rest of us will be back again. Don't forget. And don't forget, for honeymoon hens, it's Times Honey and Almond Cream. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.